Oh, wow.
Thank you for starting it off the show.
I'm going back to it. I'm see if it's working.
Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa ba'd.
It's working now.
Hmm.
So now it's working.
That was always a delay.
Did you want to do it? Or?
Oh, what?
Cat.
The cat should be in the beginning, right?
Yeah, it's there.
So, today we're at my house, his house actually, because the Yemenis gave us too much garlic and the sahawat, so we couldn't go to the masjid. So we didn't want to cancel the class tonight. So this is where we're at now. So Allah musta'an. So tonight only, inshallah, we're doing this from the house. All right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So we stopped on what hadith? Huh? 191, right? All right. So hadith number 290. We're still in the same chapter. All right. حدثنا عبد الله ibn محمد قال حدثنا أبو عامر قال حدثنا عبد الجليل ابن عطية عن شهر عن أم درداء قال قام أبو درداء رضي الله عنه ليلة يصلي فجعل يبكي ويقول اللهم أحسنت خلقي فحسن خلقي حتى أصبح فقلت يا أبا الدرداء ما كان دعاؤك منذ الليلة إلا في حسن الخلق فقال يا أم الدرداء إن العبد المسلم يحسن خلقه حتى يدخله حسن خلقه الجنة ويسيء خلقه حتى يدخله سوء خلقه النار والعبد المسلم يغفر له وهو نائم فقلت يا أبا الدرداء كيف يغفر له وهو نائم قال يقوم أخوه من الليل فيتحجد فيدعو الله عز وجل فيستجيب له ويدعو لأخيه فيستجيب له فيه. Alright, so this hadith, alright, let me see this. There's one problem in the chain of narrations, which is Shahar ibn Hawshab. Alright, where it says, حدثنا جليل بن عطية عن شهر هذا شهر ibn Hawshab. And he's like Kathir Erasab, you know, like he constantly drops a narrator and skips the narrator. You want a shawarma?
No, she does not. She has to say.
That's a he.
Oh.
Told you to bring the cat one.
He identifies as a boy, thank you very much.
It's 2024. It's 2024.
Alright. So this hadith, there are shawahid for this hadith. As you can see, this is a narration from Abu Darda. So he said, so first is narrated from Ummi Darda. Abu Darda. So Abu Darda, he stood up a whole night. He stood up the night in prayer. And he was crying. And he was saying, Allahumma ahsanta khalqi. He said, oh Allah, you have perfected my creation, like the creation of me, my creation, right? فَحَسِّنْ خُلَقِي. So he said, and I ask you to perfect my character. And this is a dua of the Prophet ﷺ that came in a hadith and Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu. No, it's not Abu Hurairah. Where is the hadith? I don't even have the hadith here. Check it. No, I got it. It says the hadith came in Aisha and Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radhiyallahu anhu, where the Prophet ﷺ used to make this dua. You know, Allahumma innaka ahsanta khalqi fahsan khuluqi. You know, that you perfected my creation, so please perfect my character. Alright, so this is a dua of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Alright, so he was standing up and he was making this dua. He said, hatta asbah, until he entered into the morning. فَقُلْتُ يَا أَبَا دَرَدَاء. So his wife said to him, oh Abu Darda, مَا كَانَ دُعَاؤُكَ مُنْذُ لَيْلَةٍ. What is this dua that you've been making throughout the whole night? إِلَّا فِي حُسْنِ الْخُلُقِ. You've only been making a dua for perfection of your character. So he said, Ya Darda. He said, oh Darda, إِنَّ الْعَبْدَ الْمُسْلِمِ. He said, verily a Muslim servant, يَحْسُنْ خُلُقُهُ, and then he'll perfect his character. حَتَّى يُدْخِلَهُ حُسْنَ خُلُقِهِ الْجَنَّةِ. until his perfect perfection of character, that good character that he has, is a means for him entering into Jannah. Then he said, "Well, you see, and then he said, then his character will become very bad, and it become very bad until his bad character enters him into the hellfire." So this is the reason of why he stood up the entire night making this one dua. He said, "Well, Abdul Muslimu yughfaru lahu wa huwa na'im." And he said, a Muslim slave of Allah, he what? And all of this, he's forgiven even while he's asleep. Even while he's asleep. So she said to him, "Ya Abu Darda, oh Abu Darda, kayfa yughfaru lahu wa huwa na'im?" How is he going to be forgiven while he's sleeping? So he said, "Yakumu akhuhu." He said his brother will stand up, and brother here, akhuhu fil Islam. Not his actual blood brother, but his brother in Islam. So a brother that's close to him, he will stand up and pray at night. فَيَدْعُ اللَّهُ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ, and he'll make dua for him while he's sleeping. So his brother will stand up at night in prayer, and he'll make dua for him while he's sleeping. Alright? فَيَسْتَجِيبُ لَهُ, and then he'll stand up and he'll make a dua for his brother while he's sleeping. And فَيَسْتَجِيبُ لَهُ, and both of them they'll get their dua answered in this regard. So both of them, they'll be sleeping, and they'll be having their sins forgiven while they're sleeping, because they're all making dua for each other. So that while the person's sleeping, the other person's making dua for him. So yes, it's a beautiful hadith. And like I said, as far as the shawahid of the hadith, it is hasan. Even though we have the issue with Shahr ibn Hawshab, but this is the actual hadith. This is the dua of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, an actual dua of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, bring his bed over here.
Back on cruise control.
It's the first time he's ever acted this calm, man. He's normally like a comic character, man. All you can hear is just the sound, but you don't see him because he runs too fast. Alright, so the hadith number 290, he said, "Forget the bed, I'm going back to take your bed back there and khalas." He said, "I feel safer over here." Alright, so hadith number 291. حدثنا Abu Nu'man. Abu Nu'man, his name is, what is his name? Oh, I wrote it somewhere. Abu Nu'man is Muhammad ibn Fadl. We've talked about him before, because he has the nickname of Adam. The laqab of him is what? Adam. And Adam, it means what? Like shadid. It means like he's real rough, right? But this was a nickname that was given to him when he was a child. But he's not. It just stuck with him. So the people, they gave him this laqab of Adam, but he's not. He's not Adam. Alright? But his name is Muhammad ibn Fadl. Alright? Alright, so it said, قال حدثنا أبو عوانة وضاح بن عبد الله الإشكوري عن زياد بن علاقة عن أسامة بن شريك رضي الله عنه قال كنت عند النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وجاءت الأعراب ناس كثير من ها هنا وها هنا فسكت الناس لا يتكلمون غيرهم. So Usama ibn Sharik, he said that one day they were with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and a group of Bedouins. I left my coffee in there. I guess no coffee for me then. Is that where? I left it in the kitchen. Ya Mujahid, did you get your tea, Abdul Malik? You want some sugar in it or no? Honey. You don't want bitter. You don't want to, because man, I gave him some of the best quality green tea, and he took a whole bunch of honey and just plop. I'm like, what are you doing?
He made me sign for honey now. He's making straight.
No, the Earl Grey.
No,
I put sugar in the Earl Grey tea. Yeah, Mujahid. تعال. ممكن تجيب لي البن هاكي في المطبخ. Alright. So he said that a group of Bedouins, they came to the Prophet ﷺ a lot. Like he said, Nasum Kathir. Min ha huna wa ha huna. They came from different places. So he said, فَسَكَتَ النَّاسُ لَا يَتَكَلَّمُونَ غَيْرُهُم. He says, so all the people, they remained silent, and nobody spoke except for the Bedouins. Now, why is this? What were the Sahaba, what were they, do you see my coffee in there? What were the Sahaba, forbidden from doing?
Raising their voice over the Prophet.
Well, yeah, that, but I'm just saying
Asking too many questions.
about asking questions. So they're commanded to wait for the revelation to come down. So they couldn't ask questions. So they used to love it when the Bedouins used to come, and the Bedouins used to ask the Prophet some questions. So they could sit back and listen. So that's why you see these Bedouins that came to ask the Prophet questions, and they said, فَسَكَتَ النَّاسِ. All of them remain quiet because they all want to see what the Prophet's answers are going to be. لَا يَتَكَلَّمُونَ غَيْرُهُمْ. Nobody spoke except for the Bedouins. فَقَالُوا. So they said, يَا رَسُولُ اللَّهِ أَعَلَيْنَا حَرَجٌ فِي كَذَا وَكَذَا. So here it doesn't go into the detail about what all the questions was, because that's not the shahid of the hadith. But he said, is there any haraj? What does haraj mean?
I don't know how to translate it. Like, I don't know how to translate it.
Yeah, it's easy. Ithm.
Oh, it's.
Is there any sin? So haraj here, like haraj, it can mean embarrassing, something embarrassing. But here it means, is there any sin for this and this? They're asking about different things. في أشياء من أمور الناس. So they're asking about things in regards to the people. Now, في أمور الناس, obviously you start to feel it this way. Talking about people, and all the things that go on with people, the back and forth with people. So he said, في أشياء من أمور الناس لا بأس بها. And he said that there's no harm in it. Like there's, it's just talk. It's things that go on amongst the people. Well, there's no harm in it. All right, because obviously the word la ba'sa biha is not the meaning that we use nowadays. Like, if you go to Sardinia and they say la ba's. No, ba'sa means harm, like real major harm. So they like la ba'sa biha, it means that there's no harm. Like no harm comes about through these interactions that they're asking about. فقال, so the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Ya ibad Allah, O servants of Allah, وَضَعَ اللَّهُ الْحَرَجِ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has removed the ithm and haraj. It's definitely Friday night.
Roundabout.
I mean, everything that you hear in the message, you're going to hear right here too. So it's all the same neighborhood. So he said, إِلَّا إِمْرَأً اقْتَرَدَ إِمْرَأً ظُلْمًا فَذَاكَ الَّذِي حَرَجَ وَحَلَكَ. So he said, O servants of Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has removed all the sin, except, and he gives the example, except إِلَّا إِمْرَأً, for a man, اقْتَرَضَ means what? No. اقْتَرَضَ means to قَطَعَ, to cut something. But he doesn't mean that literally cut, like you're not cutting your brother, but you're cutting his back up with your speech. So here, اقترض, it means اغتاب. It means al-ghiba, all right, which is backbiting. He said, except for a man who backbites another man, ظلman, and oppressively. فَذَاكَ الَّذِي حَرَجَ وَحَلَكَ. He said, that's the one who got the sin and he's destroyed. The one that bites the back of his brother where there's no benefit, Because again, even about speaking about the people of Bid'ah, we can't get into the habit of, just joking like, ha, he does this, ha, he, we fall into this a lot. This is, because, we grew up in this time, and Allah musta'an, we love drama, okay? We love drama, and then it's kind of hard to hold your tongue when people don't hold their tongue against you, right? It's very hard, and we're dealing with a man who he knows what I'm talking about probably better than anybody in this room. Because there's not one person that is, subhanAllah, that gets the flesh eaten off his back more than him. So, that's just the reality of the situation. So, people speak about us, but the thing is when does it become permissible for us to speak about them? Is when there's a benefit, and it's to protect the Muslims. But not just, it's like lighthearted speech, and not to joke around, and that's why we have to really refrain from getting involved in these things. We got to remind each other, because we all forget, the only time that we speak about these, and like I said, it's hard, man. It's hard to hold yourself back because these people run their mouths so much, But a lot of they run their mouth so much. And the things that you hear from here and there is probably only a drop in the bucket of the stuff that really goes on behind the scenes of what they're really saying about us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, just those little drops in the bucket, you just like, man, sometimes it gets you so angry after you become homicidal. But you have to control yourself out here. You have to control yourself, you know. You don't fall into what they're doing, you know, where we start to just talk about them in our free time. No, man, the conversation should never be about them unless there's a benefit. Like if we're all here and we all know that this person's on balala, he's on misguidance, and he's an idiot, there's no benefit in talking about him. You know, he shouldn't even be a part of this conversation unless he's done something that needs to be warned against or something, you know, of that nature. But other than that, you know, so the person should not be a part of any of our conversations, you know, unless there's a benefit, you know, in protecting the Muslims. Like I said, it's hard. We gotta be patient alongside. Qalu ya Rasulullah. So it continues. He said, "Oh, and they said, oh Messenger of Allah, anatadawa. Should we take medicine? You know, there's obviously the issue about, you know, should we take medicine or should we just put our trust in Allah? So that's the issue that they're asking about." He said, "Qala na'am, ya ibadallahi tadawu." He said, "Oh yes, O servants of Allah, tadawu, take medicine. فإن الله عز وجل لم يضع داء إلا وضع له شفاء." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not make a sickness except that He made a cure for that sickness. غير داء واحد. He said, except for one sickness, one ailment. قالوا وما هو يا رسول الله. He said, what is it, O Messenger of Allah? He said, قال الحرم. Al-haram is when a person gets to a decrepit old age. There's no medicine for that. You're going to get old. You're going to, you know, and you're going to die from that. And another narration, they said al-haram al-maut. He said death. You know, now that wasn't al-haram and that, but that was the hadith about habat soda. It's shifa on the kulli dat ila sam, which is a death. Except for death, but this no haram. It means that he gets into like a old age to the point where he's now his body's breaking down, his memory's breaking down, everything. He's going back to being an infant again. You know, peeing on himself. You know, that's the haram. You know. Yeah. All right. So he said, غير داء واحد. قالوا. I mean, for that hadith, it's not so kibr. It said, أعوذ بك اللهم إني أعوذ بك أن ترد إلى أرض العمر. إلى أرض العمر. That's the harf. Like where you just like خلاص. You know, you get, you know, return back to an age where you can't do anything. You know, you're just useless basically. All right. So he said after that, he said, قالوا, and they said, وما هو يا رسول الله. They're saying, you know, what is that one? He said, قال الحرم. الحرم. قالوا يا رسول الله ما خير ما أعطي الإنسان. He said, what is the best thing that people have been given, that humans have been given? فقال خلق حسن. And he said, good character. So he said, out of all the things that people have been given, the best thing that a person has been given is good character. This hadith is sahih. It is sahih. And beautiful hadith. Alright, so as far as the medicine, yes, we take medicine, but medicine for things that are actually cured for ailments. We don't go and take these poisons from these kuffar and thinking that this is a medicine. Like these kuffar, they try to poison people and try to make people take all these, you know, these things that we're not going to talk about online because we don't want to get the, you know, but we do take medicine. Everything has its cure, and the cure, alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it as something natural. Something natural. All these man-made different things that you see to the kuffar they're using aborted fetal cells, they're using all types of craziness, and then they're trying to tell the people, take this garbage because this stuff is gonna cure you and keep the sickness. Nothing's gonna keep the sickness from you. If you put your trust for example, in a vaccine, thinking that the vaccine is gonna protect you from an illness, you've committed shirk. Who's gonna protect you? The vaccine's gonna protect you from the illness, or is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gonna protect you from the illness? Yeah, you put your trust in Allah. You don't put your trust in the vaccine. You definitely don't put your trust in these kuffar doctors. You know, well, you know, the medicine's there. It's all from, you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it. You got herbs, you got all these natural herbs that come out of the earth. We don't need all these, you know, aborted fetal cells and all this other stuff, that they try to give that they send to the Muslim world, you know, with DNA of pigs and all this type of stuff.
HIV.
Oh, now, yeah, because now people are testing positive for HIV. A lot now, so. I don't know what to do. Any questions before we go to read something else? Questions for me or questions for the cat? I was going to say this. I was going to say the people keep talking about the match. I was going to say give them a chance to ask whatever questions they want to ask about the match and khalas. I'm only answering, well, not answer whatever questions, but once we go to this and come back, then the only questions we'll answer about the match. Or if you have questions for the cat.
Can you repeat what you just said?
Question?
No, before that you said something about the because I was reading the question.
No, I was saying that the people want, they keep saying stuff about like, can you make a video about the match? I'm like, why don't you just ask questions about the match?
Oh, okay.
And then later, in the last part of the live stream, I only answer the questions about the match. And check the sound, see if the sound's okay. Because you know, the sound here is different than the sound of the question. It's fine.
Okay, if your insurance company gives you free stuff, is it permissible to use it?
The only thing that you should be taking from your insurance company is the bare minimum. I don't want nothing else from them people. Nothing from them. Free stuff like what? Like hats or something or what?
Like maybe souvenirs, like
I throw that stuff in the garbage because that's a representation of insurance is haram. You know, shirts, hats, or anything. That's what the person's talking about. No, it's not permissible to wear that stuff. Because you're literally promoting something that you know is haram. That's like, would you wear a shirt that said, you know, Wayne's Liquor on it? Wayne's Liquor Store.
Brass knuckles.
You know, or like, you know, Yemeni Smoke Shop or what?
Snoop Dogg.
What is the slogan? Smoke weed every day. Yeah.
I'm gonna kick you out of my house.
Wax fan. What?
They're crazy, aren't they?
Oh, this is a good question.
Is it for me or for the cat?
This is for you. I think Abdurrahman ibn Dawm says, Ya Ustad, Hafidhak Allah, why are the Jews and the Christians called the people of the book?
Because they have an asl, even though the asl is muharraf. Even though it's been changed and manipulated and everything, but they actually have an asl that they originally go back to and a prophet that they actually go back to. All these other people, they don't have anything.
What does asl mean? Asl. What is that?
Asl is like a foundation.
Yeah.
Like origin.
Oh, okay.
They have an origin. You know, but these other groups, like you can sit there and say, well, maybe Buddha was a prophet, or maybe these other. Well, actually, you don't have any evidence for that. Shut that stuff up. You know, that's like, you know, we know for sure, as far as the Christians, we know the prophet that they claim to follow. We know the book that they claim to follow. And the Yahud, we know the prophets that they claim to follow. And when I say claim,
He killed.
yeah, that's what I'm
Them.
saying. But in the book that they claim to follow, even though they don't follow. But you know what I'm saying. So that there's an origin for them. But the other people, there's no. What's the origin for the Majus? What's the origin for the Hindus? What's the origin? So these are just mushrikun, khalas.
There's a debater online quotes the Bible more than the Quran. Says not, but he says that
agenda.
No, he says that there's a high possibility that Buddha is a prophet of Allah. And then the same question was posed to Sheikh Salih al-Fawzan. Is it true that Buddha can be a prophet of Allah? And then Sheikh Salih al-Fawzan said, "Huwa nabiyyu shaitan." Like he's the prophet of shaitan.
There's no evidence. How can you say that?
No, not.
There's no evidence for that. You can't. Maybe. We don't. Our deen is not built on maybe. So, Buddha was not mentioned amongst the Anbiya. So, you know, I mean, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the Anbiya throughout the Quran. And the Prophet sallallahu also mentioned different Anbiya and Ahadith. And these were not any of them mentioned. So there's no good possibility, nothing. You know, a good possibility that you should keep your mouth shut and not talk about things that you have no knowledge about. And y'all don't forget your coffee, huh? That's yours. Peace.
Oh, okay.
The 4 bags in front of you.
Oh, they're all Ethiopian?
They're all Ethiopian.
No.
I just have to give you some Earl Grey tea to take home. Unless you want some. I got some more Pete's coffee on. They had like 20 boxes at the Messi one day. Anything else? You're just getting too comfortable out here.
Striving slave.
Huh?
Striving slave.
I should get up to Malik to ask the question now.
It says, the Striving Slave says, Ustad, when you mention making things easy for people, can you expand more on the concept of ease in Sharia? I've heard people say to go easy on someone if I tell them to pray 5 times. That prayer wasn't legislated till way later.
No, that's no. Ease, we're talking about the other things in the deen, but you're talking about, you know what I'm saying, an obligation. This is the obligation. Now, there's no.
The 5 salats are ease, because when the salat first came down, it was ordered that we would do 100 in the night,
50.
in the day and the night.
Yeah, it's 50. Yeah.
So 5 is ease.
Because it's 5, and it's 5 in the number, but you get 10 rewards for every prayer, so it's 50 in reward. So that is major ease. It's, we only have to pray 5 times a day. At the time of Musa alayhi salam, they had to pray to 50. A person's not praying 5 times a day. No, that person, there's no, huh?
Okay.
I mean, there's a kafir after the person has the hujjah established.
But generally.
No, not general. You gotta establish the hujjah first. But yeah, person that leaves off salah is a kafir. Yeah. But I mean, first, you don't, take the person out of Islam until you establish the hujjah. Because the people are ignorant, man. You understand, the people in America, they don't know. They don't even understand that concept that, leaving off salah, that you leave Islam. It's not, they don't really understand what that means in America. So you gotta be really patient. But you don't ease up on somebody about the five daily prayers. You don't ease up on people about fasting Ramadan. Things that are obligation for these are the pillars of Islam. You're not even doing the pillars of Islam. But I mean, that's what your focus should be on, though. Like, for example, let's say that the person's not praying 5 times a day and he's listening to music. I'm not going to go bash his head in about listening to music. I'm going to be concerned. I'm going to focus all my attention on what?
It's salah.
Yeah, get those 5 daily prayers in. We're going to focus on the music later. We're going to focus on the smoking later. We're going to focus on those things later. Right now, let's just focus on, the obligations first, and then get rid of the haram. But a lot of people, they want to bash the people's head ends about the sins, and then they drive the people out of the masjid, drive the people away from, the deen.
Hanif says, I have a question regarding speaking out of agenda, doesn't have.
Read it.
Okay. All right.
He's got it open with you.
With the security forces in the U.S., parentheses LE, getting more and more out of control, when would it be permissible for one to raise his arms towards them in self-defense of yourself and family? Jazakallahu khair.
Man, what, in America? What are you going to raise against what?
Are you against the...
Leave the country, Afi. What would you stay here for anyways? You go raise your guns against security forces in America, Afi. What's going to happen to you? And what's going to happen to your family? So, man, come on. No, man, just leave the country.
Not just kill, we'll take you and do wars.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Leave the country. If this is that bad, where you're like getting to the point where you're worried about it, actually leave the country. I want to stay here, or go up to the mountain somewhere and just disappear. But I don't want to stay. It's like hanging out in the city when I gotta like worry about security forces. I don't know what security forces you talking about. Kicking in the door and I gotta defend myself. Well, you gonna defend yourself against what?
There you go.
You fire one shot at them, even if you don't hit. That's life in prison, Afi. If they don't kill you. For what? No, man, leave. It's not our country. This is a Kafir country. Okay? We got to keep that in mind. And we don't have that type of power. We're not unified. Nobody's gonna back you. The Muslims ain't gonna back you in America if something happens to you. You know, so yeah, man, that's the leave.
They won't even back you up in a street fight, let alone against the U.S. military. Striving slave also says, if one finds a parent lying to a sibling which causes problems between siblings, can the sibling tell the other one that the parent lied, or is this backbiting?
It's not backbiting. It's causing problems, is it?
It's fitna.
Yeah.
Bazooka says, what would be a good book progression to start ilm journey? كتاب التوحيد, then عقيدة الطحوية, then فقه السنة, سيرة, sealed nectar, then أدب المفرد, then 40 حديث نووي.
Is that the actual order that he wants the books in?
What's
Or
the
what?
question?
That's the question. He said, what would be a good book progression to start ilm journey? كتاب التوحيد, then عقيدة الطحوية, and then فقه السنة, سيرة, like sealed nectar, then الأدب المفرد, then 40 حديث نووي.
I mean, actually, that depends on the person, man. Fiqh Sunnah is not I mean, look, Fiqh Sunnah is a decent book to read. Number one, the guy that wrote it was Ikhwani. I mean, let's be right up front with that one. I mean, his Muqaddimah, I think, if I'm not mistaken, bring me, you know where Fiqh Sunnah is? It's on the first bookshelf, on the very bottom, over to the left. Give me the first volume. This is what we can do at my house. I can't do it in the masjid. That's not a book that you would read anyways until you're well grounded in fiqh anyways. It's decent. It's a decent book. Don't get me wrong. Even though he's a Qur'ani, it's still Sheikh Al-Albani. He loved the book. He did a tahqiq of the book, but it's not a book that you would focus on. Like, this is my go-to book. You know, like I said, man, you go. It depends on who you're studying with, where you're studying. You just study the books that they're studying. You know, so if you're in Yemen, they're going to be studying Bulugh al-Maram. They're going to study Darari by Shawkani. They're going to study Muntaqa.
But Sheikh Albani's relationship to Fiqh Sunnah has to do with the students coming to Jamia Islamiyya in Medina, that they had new shahadas there that did not know anything about Islam. They had people that literally took their shahada in Central America, South America, whatever, and then they're in Jamia Islamiyya. They don't have no foundation of pillars, no foundation of anything. So some of these material was given to the people who didn't know anything about Islam, and it was in English, and they were given that.
Yeah, but Fiqh Sunnah is not a book that you give to somebody.
But I mean, at least it gives them exposure.
Because it was one of the earlier books that they translated.
Yeah.
safe. الرفوف أقرب إلى الباب المطبخ أسفل الشيء على اليسار في 4 مجلدات فقه السنة بني. أسفل السافلين. Jakarta said no, there's no. That was taken from, I think, Twitter or something like that. So no, we're not gonna meet somebody in Indonesia named Masfala Safi, man.
Probably.
Huh?
Maybe you will.
What'd you thought?
Is Hamid at the masjid?
Hamid Japan? No. He lives in New York.
Okay.
Or Brooklyn. I don't know. Brooklyn, New Jersey. I don't know.
Misunderstanding. I said Ala Yasar, but I meant Ala Yasar, like on the left side of the lowest, but he was looking on the other because there's two bookshelves together. So. So here the Muqaddimah. What does the Muqaddimah say? He says, للإمام الشهيد فضيلة الأستاذ حسن البنا المرشد العام لجماعة الإخوان المسلمين. That's the Muqaddimah that Hassan al-Banna, for the head of the Ikhwan al-Muslimin, wrote for him. That's at the beginning of the book. So that's why this book was promoted so much in the universities, because of the Ikhwanis. And because the Ikhwanis, they were going in the time that you were there were more Egyptians that were teaching. And they were bringing this stuff in and sneaking it in. And then that's why you see like the Saudis, they started taking this stuff. But because of the laws in Saudi Arabia where, you get Ikhwani, you're done. So then what did they do? They started saying, we're Salafis, call Allah, call Rasul. But then when they take the people home, then they're teaching them, from the Ikhwani type books. And, they got, for Dilal al-Quran, they got the books of Sayyid Qutb. And then that's what they're doing. They're teaching them from these types of books. So that's where you get people like Yasser al-Fadi and,
I studied advanced, as he said, I studied advanced Aqidah.
He studied the advanced Aqidah in the houses of these people when they took the cloak off. When they took off the disguise, and then they because a lot of these dudes, you'd be surprised. I think a lot of Ikhwanis, And then one of the biggest things that got the fitna started. This is not what caused the fitna in Yemen, but this is what kind of like sparked it. And for one individual was when the Sheikh said that. Sheikh Yahya said that Hizbis said that Hizbis and the Ikhwanis have taken over Jamiat al-Islamiyya. And this was a statement of Sheikh Abdul Muhsin also. So Sheikh Abdul Muhsin's made a similar statement about, Jamiat al-Islam. So it was known that, like the people that were coming in were not, hardcore, Quran and Sunnah. And that's why you see that people were graduating from Jamiat al-Islamiyya, coming back to America, changing their names back to their Kafir names, going out and hanging out with Jews and Christians and saying we're all brothers of the Abrahamic religion. And I've seen this is brothers that got master's degrees from Jamiat al-Islamiyya that were doing this type of stuff, because of this type of thing that was going on outside of the university in the private sittings in the people's homes when the costumes came off, So I mean, this was but like I said, it's throughout the book, he builds a lot of the issues on Quran and Sunnah, but that doesn't mean his opinion is right, because he's not a muhaddith. So if he takes a lot of ahadith that are not authentic, and then he builds an opinion of fiqh on that issue, no. So that's not a book that you want to start with.
When you said that their costumes came off and their clothes came off, is that like a metaphor, like their true colors, like showing what their true beliefs are?
Yeah, the sheep's wool.
The
Salafi costume came off, and then the Ikhwani costume.
Line up with the Shia.
Yeah.
Is that what Ikhwanis are? They're aligned with Shia?
No, the Ikhwanis are aligned with anybody that they can get their hands in their pockets.
Oh.
So they're Ashab al-Dunya.
Politicians.
Wherever the money's at. If he's with a Shi'i, Rafidi, he's Rafidi. He's with a Sufi, he's banging the drum while they're dancing in the masjid. And if he's when he's around the Salafis, like Quran and Sunnah, Qala Allah, Rasul, Ibn Taymiyyah. Then he goes around other groups, wherever he goes, they got so many different costumes, But their hatred, their real extreme hatred for the people of the Sunnah. That's it, because everybody else shuts up about them except for the people of the Sunnah. Sheikh Mubil Rahimullah used to bash their head in. He used to, Ikhwani Muflisun. Muflis, it means what?
Bankrupt.
It means bankrupt. He used to call them the bankrupt brothers. Not the Muflis, you didn't say the Ikhwani Muslimin, like the brothers of the Muslims. No, he said the Ikhwani Muflis, the Ikhwan and Muflisun. They're like the bankrupt brothers. There's no barakah. All that money that goes through their hands. Oh, what's up? As far as you start with Tawheed. And and that depends. Like I said, man, you study the books that the people study wherever you're studying it. If I'm in Damascus, I'm gonna study what they study in Damascus. I'm in Saudi, I'm gonna study what they study in Saudi. As long as it's Quran and Sunnah. I obviously wouldn't go to like Mauritania and say, I'm gonna study the books in Tawheed that they study in Mauritania, and then you start to study you know, like Ibn Ashur or something like that. It's got like a whole bunch of Sharia in it, and then you're gonna be all messed up. So I mean, you study with the people of the Sunnah and the books, whatever they study. You know, and you start with Tawheed, and then you have other books that are like Muqaddimat and Fiqh. There's way more Muqaddimat, and this is, like I said, it's not a beginner's book. Actually, that's not something like Madad, like what is it? Madad al-Salikin, Sa'di.
Manhaj
Manhaj al-Salikin. Madad al-Salikin is Ibn Qayyim. So Manhaj al-Salikin is a small little book in fiqh. Something like that. You start with that, but not this.
Shuaib has an explanation, right?
Yeah, but his explanation not gonna be for a beginner either,
Oh yeah.
because he's got one speed.
I have it. It's like
It's just super fast, and he doesn't slow down for anybody. You understand it, you understand it. You don't understand it, you don't understand it. Because he's teaching 4 hours at a time.
how does it even last?
Lots of sardi coffee.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Striving Slave says even before prayers, isn't the priority to work on teaching Tawheed to people?
I mean, yeah, because if the person is not praying, then that shows that there is naqs, there's a deficiency in the person's tawheed. You know, because if the tawheed is correct, then you don't have no issues with praying 5 times a day, and not have no issues with fasting, and no issues with leaving off these sins. You know, because the tawheed is correct. I mean, obviously that should always be the basis of the dawah. I mean, yeah, we advise the brothers about prayer. We advise the brothers about other things like these other, but the tawheed is always, that's ever present as a part of the dawah. Without that, the person's not going to do anything. What is he going to do?
Bazooka says, for the input on Fiqh al-Sunnah, didn't know. Do you have a preference for a student to start with a few books before progressing further?
You start with like a Rasul al-Thalatha, Kitab al-Tawheed, Fath al-Majid. If you can't understand Fath al-Majid, there's no point in going into issues like a Tahawiyah. That's way advanced. It's way advanced. So I mean, you start with like Rasul al-Thalatha, Kitab al-Tawheed, Fath al-Majid, Kashf al-Shubahat. I mean, you should do Kashf al-Shubahat before Fath al-Majid. And then after that, you can start with Qawaid al-Mufla, the Shaykh al-Uthaymeen, and go to al-Wasatiyah, and you go on from there, inshallah. And maybe if you understand all that, then Tahawiyah shouldn't be a problem.
Jagarthi says, we have a traditional treatment that is believed to relieve colds or fever. Often practiced and trusted by elders. As far as I know, there is no scientific basis for this practice. If a person performs this treatment while believing it can cure their sickness as a means of cure, would this be considered shirk?
I say the last part again.
If a person performs this treatment while believing it can cure their sickness as a means of cure, would this be considered shirk?
If they think that the cure comes from that thing, and that's shirk. But if they see that thing as only being a means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made on this earth, but the real shifa comes from Allah, then no, it's not shirk.
What is the treatment?
They don't explain it.
I mean, anything. I mean, let's just say that you drink ginger. You say, oh, the ginger cured me. No, the ginger did not cure you. That's shirk. Yeah, because now you're thinking that the ginger, no, Allah cured you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made, He put the components and made the benefit of the ginger for you. That's Allah. He did that. Not the ginger. The ginger didn't do nothing. You made the ginger. So what did the ginger do? So.
Put you in the situation to obtain the ginger.
Yeah, you did more to get the ginger and make the ginger than the ginger did anything.
Someone named Abdullah says, the snow take the same sunnah of relieving head and rolling up sleeves?
What's that?
The snow.
Snow?
No.
Like snow?
Yeah. Does it take the same ruling, or the same sunnah? Does snow take the same sunnah of revealing head and rolling up sleeves?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think like when there's rain, you take off your head cover. You're not from the sunnah.
Because I mean, snow is rain, so that's what snow is anyway.
Is it the same movie?
I mean, if you feel, I mean, number one, when it's snowing, it's not cold anyways. So if you want to take off the head covering or something like that and let the snow touch your body, you know, if you're not afraid of being sick from that, and you're accustomed to that, and do it. It's rain. That's all snow is. It's frozen rain. So. Yeah.
Starving slave says, Damaj, or misguided people trying to buy out Salafi students of knowledge or corrupt the students.
Or misguided people what?
Trying to buy out Salafi students of knowledge.
Yeah, those guys from Fuse.
Oh.
They come to like big students and offer them a house and offer them, you know, stuff to come down to us and come to our markers, and that's what started all the fitna. That's what started the fitna. You don't go to somebody else's markers and try to recruit their students. That's evil. That's an aib, you know. That's not accepted in any culture amongst the Arabs to do something foolish like that. But that's what they were doing. They were going there doing this tashjil and trying to recruit some of the big students and take them down to Aden, and that's what caused all the fitna. You know, that's what caused all the fitna with Abdul Rahman al-Adani from this issue right there. You don't do that. You know, the people want to go, they go. You know, you want to go to Aden, you go to Aden. You don't go up and recruit somebody, recruit students at somebody else's markets and say, well, we're going to open up another market. Who wants to come with us? And that's what caused all the problems in Yemen. You know, all of the problems started with that, right there. That tashjil, you know, the register, because they had all the people wanting to, you know, register in their names. You know, how much land you're going to get, and you're going to buy this. And Sheikh Rabia in the beginning told them, stop it. Stop it. You know, stop the register, stop doing what you're doing. And then he told Sheikh Yahya, and if they stop this, then what? You stop? You stop talking about them. But they didn't stop. So Sheikh Yahya continued to speak about them. And then Sheikh Rabia attacked Sheikh Yahya. So you go figure that one out. You know, so, you know, when you figure that one out, let me know. But that's what happened.
Is a mursal hadith always when the tabi'i drops out the sahabi? And if this is the case, would the narration automatically be da'if since the sahabi is dropped out of the chain?
I mean, this is not the, yeah. If the sahabi dropped out, then the hadith is da'if. Unless it's like, you know, I mean, that narration, that doesn't mean the hadith is da'if. That chain of narration, because there could be other chains of narration where he mentions the sahabi. So it doesn't mean that the hadith is da'if, but it doesn't mean that chain of narration where there's irsal, until you can find out who the sahabi is, then it's da'if. But if you go and you find another narration where he mentions the sahabi, then of course, the hadith is, you know, based on the rest of the chain of narration. You know, one of the, you know, that's what you're going to find mostly in the Muwatta of Imam Malik, rahimahullah. You know, because he has the strongest chains of narrations in his book. But the problem with his book is the irsal. He has a lot of irsal. But if you look at his narrators, and the narrators and all the chains of narrations, he's got the strongest chains of narrations, I think. And he's a part of the strongest chain, one of the strongest chains of narration, when he narrates an Nafi' and Ibn Umar. So I mean, but the thing that weakens, that doesn't weaken the Muwatta, but it makes it not as authentic. But it was the most authentic book at the time. You know, and that's why Imam Shafi said about it what he said about it. Because at that time, the Muwatta of Imam Malik was the most authentic book. Because he does have the strongest chains of narration. But the irsal is what weakens the book. And it's not really a book of hadith. If you really, anybody that's actually read the Muwatta, it's like he'll bring like so many hadith, and then he'll start to do his fatawa. So that's what makes the book beneficial. The beneficial part is that he brings the hadith, and then he brings his istinbatat, you know, his understanding, and the things that he's doing istikhraj from, he's taken out of the hadith. And that's what makes the book super beneficial. Like a Muwatta, it's like, yeah, man, that book is a beautiful book. You know, I need to get it back in this library. It's not in this library. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, that's definitely a book that every student of knowledge has to read, and you're gonna have to read it more than once because there's just so much stuff that because Imam Malik obviously he was so advanced in his understanding, so there's a lot of stuff that you read and it's just like, huh? Let me read that again. Huh? Let me read that again. huh? Dude, I'm going to the next chapter. I'll catch this when I come back and read the book. Because I read it the first time when I was in Yemen. And I got to 3/4, I think. I got to Kitab Miraf. And he just busted my head so much because he was giving so much of the fatwa in regards to inheritance laws. I couldn't. Like, I was just like I was reading a Chinese book, akhi. I'm sitting there reading, and I'm like, what is he saying, akhi? Is he even talking Arabic? Like, so I quit. I said, I can't finish this book. Like, it's way back when I did it. So then it killed me so hard. Like, I took the confidence away that I didn't read Al-Muwatta again until the COVID. I finished it while we were on lockdown in Saudi Arabia. I said, nah, man, I'm picking this book up. I'm gonna read it all the way through. Man, I'll tell you, that's one of the best books I've read, man. I mean, Bukhari, and then I would take Bukhari, Muslim, and Al-Muwatta. If I had to have like 3 books of hadith, let me see. Give me 4 books of hadith. No, Bukhari, Muslim, Sunan Abi Dawood, and Al-Muwatta. I mean, I'd actually take. Honestly, if I had to choose between Sunan Abi Dawood and Bukhari, I would. If I only had to choose one book, I'd actually take Sunan Abi Dawood. Because of the fiqh in Sunan Abi Dawood it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Because he brings everything. He brings every issue in the way that he sets it up, the Taratib. Because that's why the people always favorite Sahih Muslim over Sahih Bukhari, because of what?
The organization.
How he organized it. Bukhari, the way he organized it, really difficult. It's really difficult. Like you have to memorize Bukhari to find anything in Bukhari. Like you just can't just go open up the table of contents and think that you're going to find, no. You need to be very familiar with Bukhari to find anything in Bukhari. But it's a masterpiece. Like what he did with it is unbelievable. But it's just the organization of it is difficult. Whereas the organization of Muslim, he just lays it out. This is the issue. These are the hadith. This is the issue. These are the hadith. Because the Imam Muslim, he wrote his book originally without the chapter headings. And the first time that I read Sahih Muslim, I read it from Dar al-Ta'asil. And Dar al-Ta'asil, they printed Sahih Muslim exactly the way he wrote it. Because the chapter headings of Sahih Muslim were put there by who?
Students.
No, well, not his students, no.
Yeah.
And Imam Nawawi,
Yeah, I was about to say.
when he was doing the sharh, when he wrote the explanation of Sahih Muslim, he put in the chapter headings. But there were no chapter headings in the original Sahih Muslim. So Dar al-Ta'asil, they actually wrote, they printed Sahih Muslim up in 8 volumes. And I read it, I said, man, I'm going to read it the way he wrote it. And read it. And man, that book is a masterpiece. Like you can read it without the chapter headings and you know everything that's going on. But you have to be familiar with hadith. It's not like somebody like a beginner could do that. The beginner, you should be reading the chapter headings of Imam Nawawi. But it was so easy to follow along the way that he set it up. I was like, man, this guy was a genius. These people are geniuses. Like these are not like normal human beings. If we're like normal human beings, then these guys were not normal, man. They had a whole different DNA that we don't. You know what I'm saying? Our DNA is like ramen noodles and chocolate bars, and hot cocoa or whatever. But y'all eating them cupcakes? Come on, man, eat the cupcake. Give out the Malik a cupcake.
No, don't give out the one.
Speaking of chocolate bars,
There's one right there.
what's that?
There's a chocolate bar right there.
What, my cat?
One. Yeah.
Hey, he looked at it. He's like, boy, you better stop playing.
It's called chocolate.
You think it's the only time I really look back?
Well, his name's Oreos.
Oreo.
Hey, don't listen to him.
Like, you're not talking about me.
Anything else?
Hamid says, when are you going to make hijrah?
I already made it. They sent me back, I think. You mean when am I going to do it again? You think 21 years out of the country wasn't hijrah? You think I ever plan to come back to America? I hate every day I wake up in this country, man. I hate every day I wake up in this country. I love the handful of Muslims that really, really want to actually practice Islam. But in America, I think it's a handful of Muslims. I don't really have patience anymore, man, because I came back to America too old. Maybe if I came back to America like, 30, go overseas and sit there for like 10 years and then come back to America maybe I'd have been more patient. But it's just like you go overseas for 21 years, I think. So like you come back to a whole new society. This is a whole nother country, I think. We go down to LA, and I'm sitting there telling, when we were in LA with Abdul Malik, and I'm like, look at this used to be this, and this used to be this. What did they do to this place? Look at this place. It's trash now. It's garbage. I'm like, what did they do to it? Where did everything go? The only thing that was there that I recognized was the masjid. Even when we got up to Koreatown, I said, like, what did I say? Like, Koreatown used to be one of the cleanest areas in LA. Now it's graffiti all over the place, and because the Koreans, boy, even we had like in the apartment complex we lived in, the last part were Koreans. Yeah, those women will be out there like, cutting the hedges and doing everything. They kept that thing pristine. Yeah, they take care of their stuff. Seriously. But now it's just like, man, it's just everything was just trashed. So it's like, nah, man, this is like America's on the down and like it's on the way out. It's on the way out. America's literally turning into a third world country right now. So I don't know. So I came back from Saudi, come here and be like, man, we were living better in Saudi. It's like this. Everybody's like, America, America. No, man, we were living way better. I mean, the only thing about America, I think, that's the better, just the internet connection, I think. Because, like, Yemen, man, you download something in Yemen, like an audio file of 3.5 megabytes would take you 15 minutes back in the days in Yemen. Forget, like a video or something. Oh, my God, man, he'd be there all day. Man, when we first got to that Airbnb, I was telling my kids, come here. Look at this. It's downloading at 40 megabytes a second. I've never seen that in my life. I'm like, look at this. This is America, kids. I'm like, man, I've never seen no 40 megabytes a second. Huh? Yeah, it went up to 50. It was like 40, 50, 45. I'm like, whoa. So we never saw like 4, in the overseas, Yeah. The food's better overseas. Everything's better. That's what we were sitting there eating that Yemeni food today. I was like, man, kids, this is food.
Oh, yeah.
This is food, man. These Americans don't know food, man. Hot dogs and cheeseburgers. And no, man, this is food. I told her, I said, I don't even know how I'm going to teach tonight. I'm so pregnant right now. We ate so much meat and chicken today. Boy. Oh my God, man, because that food was good. I couldn't stop, man. I was like, if the food ran out, I'd start eating my fingers, man.
You still have more food?
No, my kids got more food.
Nah.
You got short.
And something at home waiting. That was to go, so we know you got food at home.
Yeah.
Married dude.
You are not faqih.
Oh yeah, that's what is famous thing. You don't have ilm-ud-deen. Because you are not fucking.
Any more questions? No questions about the match. What? You have a question?
أنت خبرت من القصة عن الضباع الجمل.
Which story?
أبو زينب.
Huh?
أبو زينب.
Abu Zainab's story? What was his story?
لما كان ضم في كلب ورمى عليه الحجر.
Nah, man, because Abu Zainab, his brother, he was born, he's a very, very intelligent brother. When he was born with an issue with his paraplegic in his legs. His legs, they didn't develop, so he's on crutches, right? So when he first got the match, like, you can't stay out late at night in the match at night because they have, I don't think it wasn't hyenas. It was the dogs from the mountains, but they weren't hyenas. But see, during the day, you got those village dogs. Those village dogs, actually, they look anorexic, you know what I'm saying? If you just, like, do this, they like, and they run away, But then at night, when the sun goes down, the mountain dogs, they come down. These mountain dogs, they fight the hyenas, so they're like, these are dogs. These are not like, So Abu Zainab, he was, in the library one night, and he was late. It's like maybe he stayed into the library until they closed, maybe 11 o'clock. Depends on how many students are doing research. They'll keep the library open. So he came home at 11 o'clock at night, and his house is right next to the masjid and the library, so it's not like he had to, truck very far. But then a dog came, ruff. He's like, man, you shut up, dog. He picked up a rock. Pah! He said, like that. The dog was like, nah, you made me mad, boy. Now he's like, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. But yeah, man, he's like, I don't know what happened. Like he just said he started trucking it on them sticks, but he said somehow he got home before the dogs could, I guess, have mercy on him. But man, he said that dog got hit in the rock with right in the face with that rock and didn't flinch, Akhi. He said, oh, no. Oh, you don't do that to us. You do that to them dogs during the day, but not to us. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm the one that had that. I was the one who I saw the hyena.
I think they're called wild dogs. The small, they're like brown, white,
Oh,
and
these
black.
dogs are huge.
Like they're small compared to hyenas, right?
Hyenas are not that big. Like this part of their body's big. The rest of their body's like real skinny. So they're like, they got this big, like, that's why if you ever you're running from a hyena, you gotta climb up something or jump on a rock because they can't jump. They can't, because their neck is so big. Those hyenas in Yemen.
There's a video online of a donkey bullying a hyena. Right. It's just a donkey.
Because I was up on the mountains. That was like me. I was on the mountain one day because I used to go whenever I used to get bored in Damaj. I would just go out to the mountains by myself like an idiot. And I'm telling you, an idiot, Akhi, because everybody goes to the mountains. They go in groups and with guns. I would go there with a little Rambo knife and a bottle of water. And I'm telling you, I used to see the tracks, like mountain lion tracks. And I would sit there and be like, "Whoa, that's scary. I wonder what's over there." I'm just like, like a white person from National Geographic. Like let's see what's over there. And I'd go up all these mountains, I would be over. Seriously, I would go almost to the Saudi border. Like, that's how I would go up a mountain. I was like, I knew those mountains like I knew myself, right? So, and one day I was up on one of the mountains that was going towards Sa'da, the city of Sa'da. And I was just tired. I was on a cliff. Like, there's literally a cliff that you have to walk around to get around to this part. So I was standing there on the cliff looking down. I said, drop off. It was like one slip. Bye-bye Muhammad James. Muhammad James dies in the mountains. Nobody knows because nobody knew I was up in the mountains. I just, I would just I would be bored. I'd be like, man, I'm just going to go to the mountains. And I would just go off, And I'm sitting there looking, and I look down right below my feet. I'm like, oh, man, that's so cool. Cute little dog, man. Come up here to drink water because there's a little waterfall thing that falls off the cliff. So when it rains, the water comes down and it collects in a pool down at the bottom on this like granite type rock. It's real beautiful, right? I'm like, oh man, mashallah, beautiful dog. I'm like, wait a second. I'm on the top of this mountain. Ain't no dogs on this mountain. That's a hyena. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, man, I'm on a cliff, right? And I keep in mind, I'm just looking down. So now my heart is pounding. I'm like, now I can't fall, right? I have to go around the cliff and then come back down the mountain, but I got to come back down. Now I got to go back out the long way because I don't want him. If he saw me or something, then he can, catch me. I didn't see him again, but there was one brother, he actually walked out, and he was up in the mountains, and the hyena was on a rock. And he turned around like that, face to face with the hyena. But because there were so many of them, the hyena ran off. But if he was alone, now if you're alone, those hyenas will rip you to shreds. They got the strongest jaws out of any canines, and they will rip you to shreds.
Do they travel in packs too?
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I think that's more like the African ones. But the Yemeni hyenas, there's so few. There's not like really a pack that they have. Plus they get shot. They get shot and killed. They get seen out there. Everybody's got AK-47s.
They know that, huh?
Yeah, they know. They don't come down during the day. So that's what I'm saying. I saw him. I was up in the mountains when I saw him. You can see their little dens. You could go up in the mountains. You see them. You see the dens where they hide out at. You can see them. They got cobras, all that stuff. That happened to the other brothers. Abbas, the other brothers. I was sick that day. I didn't go out running with them, but they was running, and the cobra came right up, stood up right in front of them. And the British brothers were at the front. They're like, oh no, turn around. The Yemenis like, we must kill him. The Yemenis started stoning the cobra. He started going up the tree, and they wouldn't leave him alone until they killed him.
They killed the cobra.
They killed the cobra
With rocks?
With rocks. They stoned him to death.
That sounds fun.
Stoned him to death. They're like, no, because he's gonna cause harm. You leave him alive, he might bite one of the kids in the village.
That sounds fun.
So everybody else, all the foreigners, were like, shoot, we're out of here. Ain't messing with this stuff. So this is a question from Striving Slave. It says, could you talk about how conducive the environment was towards being a good student of knowledge? I remember the story of the guard taking that book you borrowed from someone. Yeah, Rajul Mustahil. Brother gave me I told him to give me the book. Like I said, give me some book that's not religious. One of the guards came in and saw the book in my room. They're like, what is this? This garbage. What is this? Muhammad. The guards of the sheikh. Like, Muhammad, what are you doing? I'm like, man, I'm just trying to get vocabulary. I don't care about the book. I just want to learn Arabic language. It's not just deen, because I told him, I said, when I talk to people about things outside of the deen, I don't know what they're saying, So I said, that's all, I'm taking this garbage from you. No, there's nothing to do in Damascus. There was nothing to do. So that's what makes it conducive. Like, the only thing you have is to study, exercise, or go crazy. A lot of people, believe it or not, chose the third option. They just chose to go crazy because they would drive themselves crazy. If you just sit up and, it's like, you sit up in your room and just thinking about all the stuff that you don't have, which is like everything. Everything. You don't have anything anymore. You don't have comfort. If it's hot outside, if it's 100 degrees outside, it's 100 degrees in your room. If it's 30 degrees outside, it's 30 degrees in your room. We lived in a mud house with no electricity, no way of getting cool. And then on top of that, the Yemenis, they got the superstition that fans and windows make them sick. So when you go to the masjid in the summer, and there's 1,000 people in the masjid, and it's 98, 100 degrees outside, and they're going to shut all the windows and turn off all the fans. And, literally, I will go to, like, rukur, and the beads, like, sweat is just dripping off my head. It's dripping off my head. It's so hot in there, so stuffy. It's just in the summertime, I hated it. I hated it. But what are you going to do? That's just how they are. They do not like fans or windows open. It's like they think, you open the fan, it's going to make us all sick. You open the window, we're all going to get sick. Dude, the doors are open. Like literally, the big doors of the masjid are open. So what happens is if you want to sit by the sheikh, he sits way at the front of the masjid, you're going to be sitting right, you're just going to have to be patient. You want to, kind of get cool and get the breeze, you got to sit by the door. But then you're like, Ashab al-Jidar. And that's what the sheikh used to call it. Yeah, and Ashab al-Jidar. Because he used to always, pick on the people that used to sit at the back on the walls. So, but I mean, the environment, there's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. Like I said, you had that option. I had a pull-up bar in the room. So if I got bored, I would do pull-ups. If I got really bored, I'd go up in the mountains. And when the Houthis started their war with the government, we weren't allowed to go out. We couldn't go anywhere outside the village. The last time that we went running, me and the brother, is a British brother, Abbas, we went out running. We went out running to the mountains, and then we came back. And as we were coming back, some Houthis were walking towards us. And they said, oh man, Allah, curse all of you. And they started cursing. And I turned around. I said, what'd you say? Well, and Abbas is like, Abbas is, nah, come on, let's go. And this was the last time that we were allowed to actually go out and go anywhere outside of that area of the match. Because after that, the sheikh said no more people were allowed to go out. Because the Houthis were like, they are surrounding in the mountains. So we weren't even allowed to go and do that anymore. So we ended up losing the going to the mountains and all that stuff. All of that was done. So I mean, then you just only had study. That's it. So that's the environment. But that's what you went there to do. But like I said, a lot of people, they chose to go crazy. So a lot of people went crazy. Like nowadays, with the youth now, they had to go back and stay in Damascus the way it was back in those days. Not the way it became when once the internet came in. Oh no, they would have been like, man, we'd have been tying people up, man. They've been going crazy, screaming, yelling, and people be getting kicked out of the match every single day. This generation, they couldn't do it.
Too soft.
Nah, especially the food. The food, man, you got like
No free burgers for you.
huh?
No free burgers out after class. Bring me the light.
I told you the best food I used to have. I had a little bottle of hot sauce and Indomie and some eggs. And one time, like, yeah, man, that's it. Like eggs, that was it, man. That was whenever I went to the neighbors, except for that one time, man, the Indonesian brother, I told you about him. This Indonesian brother, he cooks eggs for me. He's like, come on, Muhammad, let's go, let's eat together. He's my neighbor, Indonesian brothers. He said, let's eat. So he's cooking eggs, man. I can smell it. It's the garlic and everything. And I'm like, man, that smells so good. And then he said, come eat with us. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm going to eat with you. That guy put about 20 chili peppers into that. And like, he started cutting chili peppers. I'm like, dude, don't you think like one's enough, you know? Like, no, one's not enough. Muhammad, we need 20. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yes. So he started cooking it with all those chili peppers. So we started eating the eggs, man, with the bread. And man, I'm telling you, Akhi, you ever seen them cartoons when the steam is coming out the ears?
The airheads.
I'm like, Akhi, this is a little bit hot. He said, yeah, it is. I think I used too many chili peppers. I'm like, you think so? 20, it's not enough, Yeah, man, Allah Mustaan. I don't think we went to the classes the next day, though. I don't think we could sit down the next day. All right. It's just as hot as it now. I ain't gonna go into that with you. Yeah, anybody that's had that experience knows what I'm talking about. Allah Mustaan.
Someone says, what's like your favorite memory in the match?
Everything. When I was leaving Damascus to go marry his mother, and I said, man, wallahi, I got over the mountain, I said, I'm making the biggest mistake of my life.
Good.
Nah, I mean, at that time, I'm sitting there like, really, like, man, is any woman really worth leaving this blessing for? Seriously, as much as I wanted to be married, and I mean, I'm happy with, alhamdulillah, the kids and everything, but at that time, going over that mountain, looking over Damascus, I'm like, nah, my heart just snapped. My heart snapped, Akhi. My heart snapped leaving. Yeah.
Did you ever go back or no?
No. I couldn't go back because if I ever gone back, it would have been to visit. And I don't like visiting. I like to go back to stay. And the problem was at that time, my iqama, I had to stay in Sutton. And that's the only way that I could get married. So I had a residential visa, and it required I had to stay in Sutton. So I couldn't go just visit. If I left, I had to leave.
Abdullah says, unless you combine Jum'ah and Asr when there is snow or rain, is this okay or can only be Dhuhr and Asr?
What? Say it again.
Like a masjid, they combine Jum'ah and Asr when it rains or snows. Is this okay or it can only be Dhuhr and Asr?
Let me check that. Because Jum'ah is not Dhuhr. So combining that with Asr, let me check it. So.
Yeah, they did that on the Masjid. I had extreme shak, so I just walked out and everyone prayed. Yeah, he knows. I was like, this does not feel right.
I mean, I would never do it anyways. Like, I'm not with the combining unless you're leaving. Like, if you're going to stay in the masjid, you don't combine the salawat. You only combine the salawat if there's really going to be a major difficulty. But see, this is what they used to do in Saudi. They will combine the salawat, like Maghrib and Isha, because there's rain. But then they'll drive to the mall. I'm like, well, obviously there wasn't so much difficulty for you to get to the mall. So why'd you, in this case, no, it's not permissible to combine the salawat. You're going to the mall. You know what I'm saying? They got a musalla in the mall. You can go pray Isha on time in the mall. But they would literally combine Maghrib and Isha and drive right to the mall on Friday night. Like, they'd be so happy it was raining on Friday, let's combine the salat. Nah, that's not what it's about. It's about relieving the difficulty for the person. But you're going to stay out. So it's obviously not difficulty if you're staying out. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when I first got to Yemen, And it used to rain so much in Sana'a, and the majority, like the runoff of the water. Yeah, akhi, I am not joking, and this is not an exaggeration. We will be driving in the rain, and I could roll down the window and scoop water out. That the water was literally up to the window, that high up to the window, on the streets of Sana'a. Combine your salats if that's the case, you know what I'm saying? Because I lost so many shoes in the beginning of being in Yemen because of the rain, and then Damaj was way worse. In Damaj, actually one person got swept away and they died because of the floods that come off the mountains when it rains and it comes through the wadi. And what they do, they have this wadi, which is a valley, and all the rainwater comes through there it just like flows like a river. You can see it. You can probably see some pictures of it online. If you type in Damaj, you can see some pictures when it rains. And then, but if you're in that area, like just say you're just chilling out reading or you're drinking some coffee, and when that flood comes, dude, you're getting taken, man. It's gonna. So one of these brothers, he couldn't swim, and then just snatched him up, and then he's gone, man. He died. I mean, this is like issues like that. Yeah, man. He pray. But even with those types of scenarios, they didn't combine the salawat. They would just say sallu fi rihalikum, pray at home. Yeah. They would call the adhan and they would just say pray in your houses. If it's real muddy, you can't come out your house. It's just like it's all mud. Like the whole village is just mud. So only the people that really live close to the masjid, they'll be able to make it to the dars. Sheikh will be there regardless. Man, they could have a tornado and a hurricane and an earthquake all happening at the same time, and the sheikh will be coming out of his house going to the dust. That's like nothing's gonna stop him. Houthis couldn't stop him. I'm trying to get you on the camera, man. He's chilling, boy.
Did you go to the museum that had manuscript of Bukhari?
I've never been to. I don't think. Actually, I haven't been to a museum since I was like 12 years old. I don't go to museums, man. I go like if I'm gonna go anywhere, I'm gonna go visit ulama. I don't. Bookstores, ulama, and libraries. The only place that I visited was and they have a huge masjid in Riyadh. It's right on Shara Uthman ibn Affan and Umar ibn Khattab, I think. It's like right there at the intersection. It's a big masjid. And when you go in, it's walls. It just looks like a normal masjid. You go back, you go behind the door, and there's a library all within the walls of the masjid. I go to a place like that. But I'm not going to go like a museum now. I don't go to museums. I think they had one of the manuscripts of Bukhari at one of the book fairs, if I'm not mistaken, when they inserted it. I don't know if it was the original one or they had like a copy of it. I don't know. But they had it. I saw it. If you go like on my Facebook, you see that Bukhari that I have on the Facebook. That was the manuscript that was a picture of the manuscript that they had inserted at the book fair. You're cleaning yourself on YouTube, right? Can you see him?
Okay, so what are some highlights?
See his ear.
Huh? Huh? What?
Show the cat, please. Let's show the cat,
Oh,
please.
you can't see him in the camera.
Again, you kind of got to lift him up.
Just your ear.
Oh, yo.
You call him chocolate bar.
Look at him. He's a piece of work, man. I told you, he beats up every single cat in this neighborhood, except for one. That house cat. That cat beats the mess out of him. Any more questions? Today is an informal class, Oreo.
Oh, what's
His mother and his sister came in the masjid that day, remember?
The cats.
The two white cats.
Mm.
The big white cat's his mother.
Mhm.
The other one was his sister.
The little white one.
Yeah. Remember when he was in the cat, he was in the, he's like,
Meowing.
meowing in the masjid. I said, that's Oreo's sister.
You think they'll recognize each other if they see one?
No, of course not. He'll run up and start fighting them. Every cat that he sees, he just jumps on. If I put him outside right now, he'll start jumping on all the cats. He's crazy.
He needs a. How that happened to him? We used to have a big cat, and we brought the little cat. Well, now she's an adult, but she tried to attack the big one. The big one just boom disciplined her, and she's never attacked him ever since. He just needs like a mean adult cat.
No, he's got one.
There's a discipline.
But he won't mess with that cat.
Oh.
But he'll beat up all the
Yeah,
others.
yeah.
I told you, when I let him out today, I just let him out and locked the door. I opened the door, he's jumping on this one, jumping on that one. All the cats were running like all different directions.
Is it permissible for one to name a pet a name that is the name of a surah in the Quran, like Dukhan, but without intending to name it because it's the name of the surah? It just happens to be the same name.
It's just a name, so. Now the surahs, Usman, they don't have names. They weren't sit down. Only a few surahs are actually.
Name by
Yeah, I mean, they used to call the surahs by the
Okay.
the opening ayah. Yeah, like that's why they used to refer to the surah Sajda as Alif Lam Mim Sajda. You know, because of the beginning of it. So there were surahs that had names, like Surah Al-Baqarah had a name.
Yeah, I'm wrong.
Yeah, Surah Al-Nisa also. But I mean, not all the surahs had these names.
So what are your highlight memories of the Majd? What are your highlight memories of the Majd?
He said,
I said everything.
Like highlights.
we down to clean
There's
this.
no highlights, Akhi. It's all, everything was beautiful. Because the thing is like we all suffered, right? But we all suffered together. It wasn't like, even people that had money, their money could only get them so much stuff anyways, So we're all going through all the same sicknesses. We're all going through the same thing. So it's a lot different when you're all together. Everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's suffering. You don't get stuff like that no more, man. You don't see that. Now you suffer here, you suffer alone. You're suffering alone, man. Ain't everybody here is so busy with their lives, but it's like, there it's just like, yeah. And the best brothers that I've ever seen in my life were in the match, And these are brothers I'm like, man, subhanAllah, you'll never see people like this on the face of the earth again. They're all dead,
سمعت قصص عن يعقوب.
Hmm?
يعقوب.
What's that?
سمعت قصص عن يعقوب.
Oh, Yaqub Burkhani. Talk about the brother in the match. No, because he'll get mad at me and he'll probably start.
Huh?
He'll get angry.
Who?
Well, like the brother, like Abdul Rahman, I remember, one time the brother Abdul Rahman, Allah yarhamu,
When he became a shaheed, right?
yeah, he got killed. But before he got killed, one time, he was staying at Abu Zainab's house, man, and he just saw, he saw my kids, they were real small. And then with their mother, and she had just bought, she had gone out. I was out. I wasn't around. I was out and about. And she went and bought because I remember she said, I need some money. I want to go buy somebody selling a washer. She just got tired of washing clothes by hand, so I said, all right, go ahead, get a washer, whatever. So she went and got it. I was out. So she was with the kids. And she's in the middle of the street with this washer, It's not like the big washing machines you have here, but those plastic ones, the little, portable ones. So she's like, what to do? So Abdul Rahman's passing by. He didn't say nothing. He didn't say anything, didn't give salams, didn't do anything. He walked right by my family, picked up the washer and said, let's go. And walked it straight to the house, like a mile. Walked it to the house and took it, put it, walked back home. Didn't say a word. And tell me, brothers, that you're going to be like that. Even that one day, when I had to move, and this was when we were moving. So this was one incident. The second incident was like, it was raining one time in Sutton, and I was dumb, you know. I went out and ran, and it was marble, the ground. And I was, you know, I'm still young, you know, so I'm like, running, I'm like, I went to go jump. When I jumped, I lost my footing, and I flipped and I landed, bam, right on the steps, on my back. Knocked the breath out of me. I told the students, I said, get me to the street. I couldn't say it. I was like this. I couldn't breathe. I'm pointing to the street. I'm like, get me out to the street. And they're like, you know, they didn't understand why. I said, you know, because I was in a school and I said, I don't want to die here. I'd rather die in the street. I was telling them, get me out to the street. So if I die in the street. I don't die here, you know. And then they couldn't understand. So my back was messed up. And I had to move all the stuff. So I'm sitting there trying to help out, like trying to move the stuff. Abdul Rahman's like, man, why don't you go sit down? Sit down. Man, he went and unloaded everything in the house by himself. And he carried everything, all the heavy stuff and everything just loaded up. And I'm still trying. Like, I'm still like, nah, man, I can't watch you do this. And, you know, I'm like, you know, and I'm sitting there like lifting stuff up. You can see I'm in pain, but he's like, nah, man, would you just go sit down? Nah, I'm gonna, you know, like, nah, I'm trying to help you now. He's like, nah, I'm helping you. You go sit down. He loaded the whole house up into the truck by himself. Like, nobody else was, you know, came to help. But that brother was always there, you know. The only person I can think about Abdul Rahman, like Fresno's version of Abdul Rahman, is Abdul Malik. You know, like if you, you know what I'm saying, whenever you need something, you know, there you go. You know,
I'm on my way.
I'm on my way. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's true. Especially when all that fitting was happening, when Waterboy was calling. You know? He knows Waterboy.
Y'all tell me this later.
Waterboy is a term. Terminology.
Yeah, when the cameras start rolling. Nah, man, those brothers like, yeah, man, that's a whole different thing.
Someone said, how many halaqat the people attending the match?
Every day, 3.
3? Only 3 people?
No. You said how many halaqat?
Oh no, how many students attended halaqat in the match?
Oh, how many students? I thought you said how many
I
halaqat.
was like, what's all the stories?
It depends on whether it's the summer or the winter.
Like winter.
Winter, 300, 400, 500 maybe. Summer, the masjid is packed. Like, it's a huge masjid, and it's packed.
And best pay for it.
You're talking about like over 1,000 during the summer. In the summer, they got this house safe. You know, it's like what happens is the parents, they want to punish their kids, so they send their kids to the match. You know, so you get these like really bad backside kids, you know, that they come to the match and just raise chaos and all this type of stuff. And then on top of that, during the summertime, the Shia and the Ikhwani Muslimin, they send these special type of kids to go cause problems.
Oh, the big kids.
Yeah. They're known for doing that.
I was about to mention the Algerian guy who used to be in the Air Force.
No, special forces.
Special Forces. Can you tell a story about him?
I mean, I wasn't there for that, but that's the brothers told me. That was his job. You know, when they caught these dudes doing all that Bati boy stuff, he beat the mess out of them.
Like actually.
Like, he beat the mess out of them. Like, these dudes are like Muay Thai fighters. Like, you know, the Algerians and Moroccans, these are some of the top Muay Thai fighters in the world. He beat the mess out of them. Yemenis never got no beating like that, boy. You could, like, the brothers used to tell me, you could walk by the guards room and you could hear the screams coming out. They don't like, they beat the mess out of them and they say, go back, leave. Don't ever come back here again. That Bati boy stuff now, boy, they got that stuff beat out of them. They got the estrogen beat right out of them. You know, they used to do the same thing in Aden. Whenever they catch a dude, you know, walking all like this in Aden, they said, man, we snatch him up in the alley, beat the mess out of him, and next thing you know, he's walking like, you know, like a soldier the next day.
Facial hair.
Yeah. He's scared.
People who shave their beards are gay.
He's scared to swing, boy. He's scared to do a little motion, boy.
Yeah.
Well,
Kleenex.
What? Kleenex? Oh. Yeah, sometimes the brothers in the masjid combine the salah when the rain is moderate. If it's not a hardship for me to go to the masjid, should I join them?
It's not a hardship for you to go to masjid for what? To join them for what? To join them in the combination? No. No, pray all the time. It's only a rukhsa for a special circumstance. But that's not the circumstance. It's like a little drizzle. Like I said, man, like the people, they're gonna go and combine the salat. Go to the supermarket. Go here. Go there. Obviously, there's not a difficulty. And on top of that, you got to keep in mind that we lived in Damascus, which is probably the closest lifestyle that you're gonna get to like what the Prophet ﷺ lived in. It's all dirt. When it rains like that, it's all mud. Like literally, you walk, you slip, boom, there you go. Wash your throat tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just all mud. As soon as you walk out of your house is made out of mud. So that's just the reality. But here, you got nothing. When it rains, you got sewers, you got streets that are that paved, and what difficulties do you have here?
Saudis in the 80s was like that, except the main roads. And it rained 1 to 3 days, and it was just like a full downpour. Everything washed away. You wasn't crossing over anything. And in that hardship, not only joining, but the Adab would tell us to stay in our place and pray.
Yeah, pray at home.
It was just, everything was gone. And even the little bridges to get it back and forth across, all washed out.
Yeah.
Like a month after I left Sana'a in 2021, I seen on the news that Sana'a was just flooded.
It's Sa'ila that floods every year. That's why they built it. They built it to get the water off the streets. So then all the water now flows into the Sa'ila, and the Sa'ila is about as high as this wall, as the ceiling, and it's full. But if you're in that Sa'ila, there's a siren that goes off because they had to make a siren. Because why? People just, Mukhazanin, they're just driving because they like, the Sa'ila is the quickest way. Man, that water comes through there.
There's a tunnel, right?
It's a runoff for the rain, for the flood.
Like a canal?
No,
Yeah, it's basically when it fills up with water, it looks like a canal.
Oh.
Yeah, you could look it up online. You can see it. It takes cars up here.
trenches.
Yeah. But they did that because originally in Sana'a they didn't have that. So that's how the streets would flood. But then they said, okay, let's do this. So we have this runoff, and then yeah, man. But then they had to put the siren. So you're like we'd be in the Sa'ila. I'm in a taxi, and the siren's going off. I'm like, you want to exit, man? It's like, no, we're close, man. We might not make it to that. You can hear the siren like, woo, woo, like, it's all in the city. You can hear it. And then this guy's just driving in the Sa'ila. I'm like, he's like, well, it's faster. I was like, it's faster because there's nobody that's stupid enough to be in this thing right now except for us, Everybody else is up on the street. And we're about to be on the news, man. You get off the Sa'ila, man.
That's the traffic.
Oh, the traffic. Yeah, if there was a flood, me and you would both be dead. KS says, what is order of learning Islamic sciences? Please ask.
I've already made so many videos about this. Huh? And I have a book about it, the Believer's Handbook for Seeking Knowledge. So that's I gave every order of everything. I don't have the book up here.
Don't you? It's on the table. You got it.
I got the Quran memorization book here on it.
You gotta hold these books up, man. Stop.
He's gonna do the advertisement. I do the advertisement for the cats. He does the advertisement. It's time. There's another book over there. That's the daily idea.
It's really not.
It's like the people on the live stream, they're living like 10 seconds behind everything you say.
Yeah.
Nothing else close.
Come to the docks.
Oh, those are very good for your forearms.
Nobody got their Seeking Knowledge book?
You know what's better for your forearms? Tell them, safe.
I don't know that. I think what?
It's right there, ain't it?
You take 40-pound dumbbells and you walk all the way down and all the way back.
Farmer carries.
Farmer carries.
Yeah, they call them farmers.
Right now, yeah. Me and him were out there doing them the other day. Well, yesterday, wasn't it? It was yesterday. Yeah. I told him, because back in Yemen, we always used to carry the water buckets.
Mm-hmm.
The bottle, like those big 20 liter things of water, the jugs of water. So we used to always have to carry those waters.
Works out everything. Because you're going to work out your core, your walking, working out your legs, everything.
How much push-ups a day should someone do to be like a strong man? Like to have a strong body. 500.
300, 250, 300.
That's not a legit question, because your body's gonna build up endurance and resistance, so that number always has to go up in order for you to maintain strength or muscle.
And plus, that's a specific type of skill. You know, you need to. I mean, push-ups only they give you strength, but then for what?
Like give you size and they give you.
Yeah, but for what?
What do you mean?
For what? What are you gonna use it with?
Yeah, just to look big or to do
No,
something
I mean, like-
athletics, or is it?
Like in everyday life, it can help you. Like if you
No,
lift that heavy stuff all day.
No, I'm saying it's like I'm saying it could, yeah, technically, yeah. I feel you, but I'm saying like wouldn't it be easier just to do that then? The thing that you're doing, you know, like for example, like you know, like you gonna sit here and do push-ups and say, "What's gonna make me good at boxing?" No, it's not.
Oh yeah, of course.
Trust me, I worked out with this one brother in Yemen. He was a Muay Thai guy in Algeria. Yeah, he just one workout with him, and I used to do tons of push-ups, tons of pull-ups. Just doing that Muay Thai stuff with him, every single thread in my body was sore. Every single thread, all the kicking, all the punching, and we didn't do anything. We only did like maybe 40 or 50 push-ups, maybe 60. We just did like 3 sets of 20 push-ups.
no, that's just.
Man, I was like, that's it. But man, trust me, man, that like they were like, come back. You coming back the next day? I said, I can't come back the next day. I can't move my finger, man. My finger's sore, you know. It's like, nah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what you gotta train for, whatever it is that you're doing. Push-ups are just there for like extra strength, but you've got to be focusing on whatever you're trying to get the strength for. So that most people, they're just gonna do push-ups to do what? Show off, look good, you know. But that's not beneficial, is it? You know what? If you get a girl who only is gonna marry you or be with you because of your personal appearance, obviously she's garbage. She's superficial anyways. Just like you only marrying a girl because of how she looks. You know, and forgetting the fact that she probably like maybe she's beautiful, but she can't cook an egg. She's horrible with kids. But oh my God, look at how beautiful she is. You know, isn't that superficial, right? So you wouldn't want a person like that anyway. And then when you talk about fighting and all that, man, come on. The strongest dudes in battle, those dudes can't do 20 push-ups, Akhi. Some of those Yemenis, like, you know, when they used to go out and fight, be so brave, but Akhi, those dudes couldn't do 20 push-ups, couldn't do 2 pull-ups. None of that stuff's going to help you in battle, Akhi. None of that stuff's going to help you in fighting. You know, it helps with other things. But not by, you know.
Moving boxes all day and whatnot. Like hard what I do at my work. Like there's pallets and water. When I have to go to Costco, and there's big soda boxes. It's always heavy lifting. And really your push-ups would help out with that. Especially those produce and whatnot.
Do farmer's carries. Get a medicine ball. That's what we're doing that day too, taking the medicine ball and slamming it on the fence.
So when I started doing, sorry.
That was a good question.
When I started doing Muay Thai, I kept hearing like it was haram to like hit the face.
It is.
Okay. But what's like the rule on like training Muay Thai? Just
No, but it's not. It's haram to hit us in the face.
Oh, okay.
But if a kafir comes up to you and attacks you and you have to defend yourself, you crack them in the face if that's all you can get. But obviously, but the thing is that that's what most people guard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell them about the ribs, my friend.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hit it in the face most of the time is just for showing off. There's other things that you hit that stops person dead in their tracks.
Liver.
Yeah. When I started.
Liver, kidney, throat, legs.
And people don't
eyes.
guard that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
When
I
I started.
You hit somebody in the thigh,
Yeah.
they don't have legs to stand up on even to fight no more. You take out an ankle, they're gonna be there until somebody come and get them. So hitting somebody in the face to try to knock them out or something, it's just for show.
Yeah.
It's just for show. Once they're down, you know, if you're gonna put them to sleep, that's another story. You know, but
There's nothing better.
Make the earth shake.
If you get really good at those leg kicks, there's nothing better than pretending like you're about to throw a punch and just pah, and it's kicking right where the joint right there at the knee.
That's what I did on my first spar. And just like fake the punch and just
Oh yeah,
fake
you're
it.
sparring, yeah.
Yeah.
But you actually did Muay Thai here?
Yeah, Fresno. I started doing it for like a month, and then I had like some money issues going on, so I had to stop. But
Where?
it's closed down now. And
Oh,
that's
okay.
the gym closed. But it was on Maple and McKinley. It was cool, but and then the guy, the coach
Gracie
also.
place?
So
He was at the Gracie place?
the Gracie place?
Yeah.
No, it was an international Muay
Yeah,
Thai.
I know it, right there
Yeah,
between
yeah.
the junkyards.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
toll
yeah.
yards, I know the place.
Yeah, I want to do the jiu-jitsu and even that. Well, the thing is, in Mushkila, there's also women
Yeah,
who
there's
are
women.
there's
Oh,
women
yeah.
over there in the dress. They also have the Dawla to Shaytaniya flag.
See, I mean, there's no getting around none of this.
Yeah, I just told
Even
him.
the boxing gyms,
I know,
like
yeah.
the traditional boxing gyms, there's no
Yeah.
women there. But there's still gonna be music. There's still gonna be, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why it's just like it's better just work out at home.
Yeah, I just told him I'm Muslim and I'm not gonna partake in their traditions. So like the coach, he was like a full on. He was Thai and everything. He did like all of the rituals.
Yeah.
Bowing down to
Yeah.
Allah.
Yeah, I told him I was like, hey, look, in my
What do they
religion, I
do?
can't do that. I'm not trying to disrespect you or nothing. They were cool with it.
What do they do?
It was like they would like bow down to each other.
They
like,
got
this.
bows, they
Yeah.
got chants, they got.
Hey, you
Yeah.
never seen their
stuff to
fights.
the-
Yeah.
If he does something on accident, something illegal, they'll literally they'll bow down to each
Yeah,
other.
they'll like prostrate and stuff. Like
Yeah.
before the game the game
yeah.
or the match started, they'll like be one of them would be prostrating on the ground, the other would be like doing some dance around the ring. Yeah.
What was your
Shake your
question?
hand and move on.
When I do a handshake.
Literally, I'd be like, "Hey, there we go.
Fist
Give him a
bump.
Give him a fist bump.
Huh?
Kan hålla bäst en sekulär, kan du play för klart med kolla.
That's you?
Muay Thai
It's
is
a good,
it's
play
a
it
good-
nice,
it's a
I'm
good
gonna go
sport to keep active, so it's really good.
Nah, cause I mean, them. Boy, I remember say from jail when they were small. I remember when Sheikh Yahya came, when the brothers came down to Sana'a, and Sheikh Yahya was speaking at Sa'wan. And we went all the way out to Sa'wan, and we were in the taxi. And Safe was like, Baba! I'm sitting in the front, my wife is sitting back in the back of the taxi with the kids. Hey, Baba! And I didn't know the match. It's like, nah, yeah, Safe. The match called Raha Indana. You know, even the taxi driver was like laughing at him. Because he thought they thought like the match was just up in the mountains of Sana'a. Like every single mountain, that's the match. So whenever we got in the taxi, like, we're going to the match. I'm like, no, man. It's like, yeah, I said basically something like that, you know. And yeah, man, that was that day that Sheikh Yahya spoke at Saiwan. Actually, that was crazy. That was crazy.
What happened that day?
I was like 12,000 people. Actually, they were like, we weren't allowed in the masjid because they had all the brothers. All the brothers that were in the masjid were the brothers that were they came down from the masjid, and the brothers that were injured because they had all the brothers they were treating them in the masjid. So they wouldn't let the regular people in the masjid, so we had to pray out in the street. So imagine like 12,000 people just sitting out there in the street. You had guards, like armed guards, walking across on the stores. So we prayed out in the street. The sheikh was talking, they had it on a microphone, and we're out in the street. You could find it, the talk was online. Yeah, and then all the brothers after the sheikh talked, then all the brothers came out. The masjid, they were in the masjid with the sheikh.
I took this video when I was in Sana'a, 2021. You can click it. It's a short video.
I don't want to see this one. It's depressing, actually.
It's depressing. You want to go back?
Yeah, I told you, I don't want to be here.
That's fine.
I didn't want to be in Saudi, actually. I want to be in Yemen. I didn't want to go to Saudi. His mother made me go to Saudi. That was your mom's fault. That's not my fault. We got to go to Saudi. We got no money. I'm like, man, we'll be patient. What are you going to do with your son? He's going to have no milk. He's got no, Asif was born at the time. Like, we'll be patient. You know, and people used to come up to me and just say, hey, Akhi, take this money. Take everything in my house. Because the Yemenis, they were leaving. They were going to Saudi. And the brothers would come up to me and just give me everything in the house. I was like, let's be patient.
You should just take the house.
Huh?
You just get their house too.
Actually, we were staying before we left Yemen, except for the fact that we had no electricity. My wife's her father was a guard in a villa. All right, so a huge villa on a mountain. He was the guard of the house. the people couldn't come back to Yemen. They're in Djibouti. So they were like, khalas, because they're like half Djibouti, half half Yemen. So they couldn't even come back to Yemen. So the father just said, look, you guys, you can't, you can't stay, can't pay the rent. Come stay with me. So we want to stay with our father.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say she said no.
And this was a 3-story house, I think. Man, we were running up and down this house. The first time I've ever lived in a house with stairs. In my whole entire life, I've never, no. I lived in a townhome when I was young. But not 3 stories. I've never lived in a 3-story house. Never in my life, huh?
En nou heb ik een beetje about the soul.
Huh?
En nou heb ik een beetje the soul.
Yeah, that was after we left, though. Nah, right when we were leaving. Right when we were leaving, I think they were bombing right outside the house. When we were leaving, we were getting in the car, getting in the taxi to go, and they were bombing right on the mountains. Right when we were leaving. So all that stuff started right when we, right in that area. Because that area was all controlled by the Houthis. So that was the only problem. I couldn't never come outside. And one time I went to go, I said, I gotta go to the masjid. I gotta go Jumu'ah. The last Jumu'ah that we were gonna be in Yemen, I said, I'm going. I don't care, whatever. It was, I get to the masjid, guess who the khatib was? Houthi.
Oh.
Man, they looked at me walking in. Like, are you lost? It's like, are you lost? Man, I was like, man, I just want to pray, man, because, I prayed and left. I didn't, because I didn't know that's how the masjid was going to be. I figured they would still have their own khatib. I didn't know it was going to be Houthi. But once I got in there, I had to stay. You can't just turn around and leave.
Forgetting.
Huh?
Forgetting the big masjid in Sutton.
I'm trying to get it on the cat. Huh?
I want them to see how you prep for your
No,
classes.
this ain't the prep for the classes.
I
The prep
know.
for the classes looks like that on my bed right now.
I know. I just told them. There you go.
Hey, 10 seconds late.
Yeah.
And that's 10 seconds late too. You see the cat just move?
Let me show them one
You
bookshelf.
see, oh wait, he's moving a little.
Let me show them one bookshelf.
I'm dodging the camera.
Don't see me.
I hope you find it in yourself. Forgive me.
They're gonna see my blinds look like the Houthis and got my blinds.
They're here.
The Houthis done took out my blinds, man.
That's the one.
Huh?
That's the one shelf in here with us tonight.
No more questions.
The other 7 are out in
There
the.
Are the Houthis like the gangs
The
here? Like
study
if you
room.
tap one of them, they'll have a target on you.
The gang's here.
Yeah.
Not even close up here. The Houthis are way worse than any gangs here.
Oh man.
The gangs here, what do they got? Pistols, maybe some AR-15s.
Yeah.
The Houthis got anti-aircraft machine guns, tanks.
Oh, I was talking about
mortars,
like.
and-
yeah.
Yeah, no, they planes now. They got drones. They got they killed one of the top commanders in Aden, Akhi. How did they kill him? He got up to give a speech to the military. They came with a drone and blew the drone up over his head and killed him, Akhi. Killed one of the top commanders in the army. Killed one of the head of the special forces of Saudi. Sending rockets on them, Akhi.
Where? In
And Yemen. At the beginning of the war, Akhi, they were taking them out.
Mm.
Because every time that they brought in like these the Blackwater people, what do they call them now? They changed their name. They don't call them Blackwater.
I don't know.
They brought in some Colombian dudes, right? So they had a British guy that was the leader of all these Colombian soldiers because the Emirates, they don't. I probably shouldn't. Well, I'm never gonna go back to the Emirates anyway. So they're like cowards, Akhi. They never fight for themselves, right? So they got to pay other people to fight for them. So they went and spent the money to have like Colombians go fight for them with a British guy. It was a British head of like special forces guy, headed the Colombian dudes. As soon as they touched down with the head of the special forces of Sardia, boom, killed them all. Just like that. Somebody called and said they're here. Boom,
How
killed them.
did Saudi clap back?
Huh?
How did they clap back?
Nothing.
Nothing? They didn't fight the Houthis back?
Akhi, man.
Does Iran?
The Houthis, look, man, the Houthis are Rafida.
Oh, okay.
But these are dudes that live up on those mountains. They grew up in those mountains. They grew up rough. You think some dude eating keps all day long is gonna go up in those mountains and fight those guys? All the people that were protecting the border were Sudanese and Yemenis. Those were the ones getting killed on the border because when they did have the Saudis on the border, no, they were getting sniped left and right. All the time, akhi. They were getting sniped left and right. And they refused to go into Yemen and fight against the Houthis. So they had to bring in other people. They brought in the Sudanese. Sudanese got slaughtered, akhi. They got slaughtered bad in Yemen. They got killed in Tihama. And they had just bodies of Sudanese soldiers all out through Tihama. Even to the point where the Sudanese government was like, nah, we're not sending no more. We're not sending no more. I mean, those dudes, like I said, they're Rafida, but akhi, these are dudes that grew up in those mountains. And grew up just warfare for the last, they've been fighting since 2004. So the war with Saudi started in 2015, akhi. They've already been fighting in Kitab, fighting in Damad, fighting in Amran, fighting in Hajjah, fighting in Sana'a, fighting in all these places. Then they went down to Baylah, they fought in Baylah, they fought in Aden, they fought, akhi, come on, man. And you got these inexperienced soldiers that just sit around eating lovely in air conditioning. They're gonna fight against these dudes. Nah, man, they got slaughtered. That's why this war. That's why they're still in control in the north. And there's other reasons, there's other things, but we can't talk about that here.
After the election.
Maybe. There's certain things that I will say about certain countries, because like I said, I'm not gonna go back there. But there's certain things that I won't say about them. That's way worse than what I said. So.
Well, can you tell us stories of the match?
I didn't ask no questions. I told him.
It was more just like other questions.
So the Houthis are Yemeni.
Hmm.
Okay. But they grew up Rafida? Or?
No, they're originally Zaydis, but no.
What's a Zaydi?
It's a lighter version of Tashayyur. They're like Shia, but they're still Muslim. But Hussein Badr ad-Din al-Houthi, he went to Iran. He's the one that studied. So you had Badr ad-Din, his father, Hussein Badr ad-Din, which is the son, and he's the one that started the first war in 2004 in July. So he was the one that started the war when I was at the match. So and that guy he went to Iran and he got raw defied, you know. He became one of Daniel's cousins, right? So
best friends.
Remember saying in the group chat, Hagigaju. Someone went after him in the group chat because he said Hagigaju, and he went after him. He said, "You can't be doing that." So guess what I did? I stood up for saying. You remember? It was right before the Iqama for Isha, and I'm just.
But see, Hussein Badr ad-Din al-Houthi, he got killed in 2004. Because they were fighting against the government and they were fighting. I think that was probably the worst war between them and the government, was that first war.
The Yemeni government?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they had the planes going over all day. We were listening to it at night, all night. Just boom, boom. You could hear it all throughout the village, right? And then, but they ended up killing him because they told him, like Ali Abdullah Saleh had called him. Like they said, come down to Sana'a and let's make a truce. So it was a commander from Aden. He said, come out. Because he was hiding in a cave. And they surrounded the cave. They got him now, right? So he said, all right, I'm coming out. He said, Ali Abdullah Saleh, he called and he said, everything's going to be okay. He said, okay, come out. And he came out. And he pulled out his pistol. And he said, what are you doing? He said, I know Ali Abdullah Saleh is going to forgive you. I don't forgive you. Bah! Shot him dead right there. So that was the end of Hussein Badr ad-Din al-Houthi. So it died out for a while. But then his father, Badr ad-Din al-Houthi, he's like an old man, full white beard and everything. He took over. Because he was also on the same type of Shia stuff, right? Rafida. Whew, boy. They took him out. He died. And you know what they did? They didn't just take him out. Like, the government got rid of him. No, but then the terrorists, you want to oh my God. So they had the janazah in Sa'da for Badr ad-Din al-Houthi. And they were taking him to the grave. So the terrorists, they like, we can't miss this opportunity. So they came up, the Sayyarat and Sayyara Mufakhaha, And the Sayyarat al-Mufakhaha means it's a bombed car.
Oh.
So they drove right into the middle of the funeral procession boom, and blew the car up and killed like about 40, 50, 60, I don't know how many Houthis got killed in that procession. And they're like, we can't miss this opportunity, right? So they did that, and that's what, caused all,
When you said the terrorists, who's the terrorist?
Al-Qaeda.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, they did that.
They got beef with the Houthis.
They don't like the Rafida.
Yeah.
Qaeda, okay. Or the
Now, when
Qaeda,
the Houthis took the power, the Al-Qaeda they controlled Al-Bayda. Rida and all these areas in Bayda. So as soon as the Houthis took power, the conditions now with the support of America was they had to get rid of Al-Qaeda. So they went straight to Bayda and they took them out.
How?
Because they would go out there and fight them, pull them out of the mountains, and America would come and bomb them. So they wiped them all out. They killed them all. And then whatever remained, they went down to Aden. And they went down to like Abiyan and Aden and all those areas. So they left out at Bayla. So then the Houthis took over Bayla. Because Bayla is right next to Ma'rib. So it's strategic for them. So then like later on, then they tried to take Ma'rib. And that was when the Sheikh was in Ma'rib. But they still, until this day, they haven't been able to take Ma'rib. Ma'rib, those are Rijal, akhi. Those people in Ma'rib, those are Rijal, akhi. You're talking about dudes that live out in the middle of the desert with camels. And they got money. They got a big house and a tent right next to the house. They'll be up in the house and be in the tent. They're like Bedouins, But they don't play games, akhi. They got they got weapons that these are tribes, like I said, these tribes have tanks, anti-aircraft machine guns, They try to shoot the government planes down back in the days. Every time they had a disagreement with Ali Abdullah Saleh, they start shooting at the planes. Yeah. And then Ali Abdullah Saleh would come in and start bombing them, they'd be out there shooting at the planes, man. That was the story of Yaqub. He said one day he woke up and he heard bombing. He was in Ma'rib. And he looked out and he saw this Bedouin with an AK-47. He's like, La'natullah alaykum! With an AK-47 shooting at the plane while the plane's bombing him. He's like, Allah curse you! And he's just shooting at the plane. He looked out, he's like, man, this is Janoon out here. These people are crazy. Yeah.
Sounds fun. I should have said that.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I don't say it was happy. He's hearing all these war stories. He likes to talk about tanks and whatnot.
Nah, man. One time that they really bombed, Sana'a, I'm talking about, man, boy, you were crying, dude. The kids were in the house. I was outside of the house, and the bombing was so bad that I couldn't. I was at a neighbor's house. There's a brother that I knew. I went to go visit him, and they started bombing while I was in the house in his living room, and the house was like shaking because it's just right there. He had a door you could open up, and it's just right in front of us. It's like I said, SubhanAllah. I'm sitting there standing out at the door. You can hear all the women, the children, everybody's crying. I'm like, SubhanAllah. I wonder what my family's going through right now, right? I said, SubhanAllah. I'm looking outside. And I said, well, if it weren't for all these people dying, I would say that this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. But I said, I know there's a whole bunch of people dying. And what the Houthis did that day is they wanted to get all the Sunnis in the military. This was at Amin Markazi. Amin Markazi is right behind, you got Tariq al-Sab'in, and you got Amin Markazi, then you got Shara Hadda. So you got the KFC here, then you got Amin Markazi over here. So it was right, and we were right behind Sab'in in the house, in the apartments. So when this was happening, the Saudi had already told, because they were bombing inside the city. So part of the rules of warfare is if you're bombing in the city, what? You have to inform them, we're going to be bombing in this area at this time and get the people out. So the Houthis, they already knew this because they had already been informed that Saudi's going to be bombing at this time in this place. So they told the Sunnis, all the people they didn't trust in the military, they said, Yallah, come pick up your paychecks. Yeah. So they got up in the room and they said, we got your paychecks, just go wait in this room. And then the Saudi came in and bombed them and killed them all. So they got rid of all the Sunnis in the military, just like that. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, there's some evil dudes out here.
How the
That's right.
how the Houthis get quote unquote into power?
What do you think they got into power? Because the people are acting like punks. If you see a problem and you handle the problem when it's small, everybody comes together and says, let's deal with this problem right now, it never becomes a problem. But when you get a bunch of people that are like, no, you know, they're taking money, they're taking bribes, and then the Houthis have always been in the government. All of them, you know, so all of the government, all the around Ali Abdullah Saleh was the president. The people that ran the Jawazat, the people that ran all of these wazarat, all the ministries in Yemen are always Houthis. Always. From 1,000 years, I think. They never left the government. They only left the government as far as the presidency, because they don't care about the president. They'll kill him. They kill him. So any president that doesn't fall in line with what they want to do, they kill him. So at that time, though, but they had the Hashid Confederation, which is the Ahmar family. They were the head of this Hashid. So they thought that they had power. Houthis ran them out, I think. They're not even allowed to come back to Sana'a anymore. Their own tribal land, they're not even allowed to come back. So these people have always been there. So Ali Abdullah Saleh, because they ran him out of power. So Ali Abdullah Saleh, he wanted to get revenge against all his enemies. So what did he do? He gave the keys to the Houthis. He said, here's the keys to all the military bases. Take whatever you want. So the Houthis went in there and just unloaded all the military equipment and took it off. That was it. And then all the military turned against the next president, Abdul Rabbu. Because he was weak, you know, so nobody really cared about him. Nobody would listen to him. If he said, do this, everybody would be like, whatever. You know, like Ali Abdullah Saleh, he had people behind him that were very powerful. It wasn't that Ali Abdullah Saleh was somebody that people were scared of, but it's the tribes that were in support of him. You can't mess around with them. They're like, Akhi, Khalas. Talking about these gangs here, these gangs are nothing. These dudes ran the country. You understand? These tribes ran the country. You go and mouth off, like Hamid al-Ahmar back in the days, could literally walk up into a store, shoot somebody in the head and walk out and nothing would happen to him. You understand? And he's been known for, like not him, but his people. The guard of Hamid al-Ahmar killed the security guard at one of the institutes I was working at. Killed him on our lunch break, right in front of us, and never went to jail. His security guard, Hamid al-Ahmar, shot him dead right in front of us. You know, right in front of us. Akhi, I ran down to see what was going on. I almost slipped on the guy's blood. Akhi, the blood was all over the place. Because he shot him in his thigh with an AK-47 and severed the artery in his leg. Yeah. And they bled out right there on the door. Right there. Yeah. Right in front of us. Akhi, that dude never went to jail. Never.
No, and all the women have to answer for him, Yom Al-Qiyamah.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. They tried. So the people that grew up with this type of thing, now they'll support the Houthis, because the Houthis are coming in the guise of what? We're fighting against corruption. We're going to get rid of all. And they did. They ran all those dudes out. So that's what. But the people are not thinking about the aqidah of these people and what they're really about. And now the Houthis now are worse than the people that the Houthis ran out. You can't talk against the Houthis now. Houthis shoot you dead in the street. Who's going to do anything? They shot an Adani doctor. An Adani doctor, because what happened was, again, the terrorists. One of the terrorists had gone into, this was actually two events. One event was like, he went in with a cast on into a Houthi masjid. He had a cast, so he's pretending like he's had a broken leg. Inside the cast, plastic explosives, right? So he goes inside, he gets right in the middle of the Jumu'ah of the Houthis and blows himself up. You can find this video, I'm pretty sure, online.
Where?
Yeah, well, actually, it's three events now. The third one was actually kind of funny. The third one was funny. I'm sorry, but the second event was they were recruiting for police, and then one of them pretended like he was coming in and blew himself up in front of all the cadets and killed a whole bunch of Houthis. And then the third one was an Ib. They were celebrating Maulid. And the guy was on stage and he started singing. He started, boom! You just see the dude. I'm sorry, that was funny.
He blew himself up?
No, he got blown up.
Oh.
They had bombs in the stage. They knew where they were celebrating, so the people in, I guess, the Khawarij and Ib, they went and put the bombs in the stage. You could find that one probably. Type my Infijar for Maulid for Ib. You know, that was funny, dude. I'm sorry, that one was classic. But the other one, but the one with the cadets, it just happened. So there's an Adani doctor, and he was going through a checkpoint. He was trying to get back to his pharmacy, right? He's going out to go get some stuff, and he's coming back to the pharmacy. The Houthis had the street blocked off because it was a Zubayri. Because Zubayri, if you go down Zubayri, that's where the police academy's at. And that's where they blocked it off because they're cleaning up the bodies and cleaning up everything. So the Adadi guy, he's going back, he's trying to get to his pharmacy, but it's beyond the checkpoint of the Houthis. And he's just trying to show them, he's like, look, Akhi, I got nothing, I got no weapons. He lifted up his jacket, and they shot him dead on the spot, Akhi. I mean, he just, you know what I'm saying, he didn't know. He's just trying to show them, like, look, I got no weapons, and they killed him right there on the spot. Nothing happened. Nothing happened to them. One of the brothers is a French brother. He was coming out of the Dars of Sheikh Yahya. He was leaving the Dars in Sutton. And they went through a Houthi checkpoint, him and a brother from Jazair. Jazairi brother, Algerian brother. Houthi stopped him. And he told him, just keep telling him, told the taxi, go. Don't listen to him. You know, he said, open up because he had some books in his bag. He said, open up, let me see those books. He said, nah, I'm not showing you anything. And he told the taxi to drive off. They drove off, and the Houthi shot the French brother shot the Jazairi brother through the back of his head, killed him instantaneously. Shot the French brother through his back, and the bullet came out of his chest.
What kind of guns are they using?
AK-47. They're shooting through the windows.
Oh,
7.62. That's a powerful bullet.
So and then the French brother didn't die. The Algerian brother's gone. French brother didn't die, so the Houthis grabbed him, put him in an ambulance, and take him to the other side of Sana'a, just so they make sure that he died on the way. Like, they didn't want him to live. So they took him to Hasaba. Like, we're in like close to Baynoon, and they took him all the way to Hasaba, which is the other side of Sana'a, to go to a hospital that they control, to make sure that he's dead by the time, and then that way they can keep the body and show it off. Like, look, we got a French guy. We told you.
They what? What did
They kept the body of the French brother.
And they hung it?
No, they just took it to the other side, to a hospital like 20-something miles away, when there's a hospital right there. It's like 3 hospitals right there in my neighborhood. This is where this happened. But they took them to the other side of Sana'a. So the same thing when they were fighting in the, they're evil, Akhi. They're evil. They're evil. I mean, anybody that talks about alliance with people like that, man, seriously, Akhi, we ain't got no time for that. These people are evil, Akhi.
Because I remember it all makes sense. One time when I was in Sana'a, like in 2021, I didn't know about the Aqidah of the Houthis and whatnot. So I'm in the masjid, we're waiting for the khatib to come. I didn't even know what the khutbah was about, I was there. Someone sneezed. And then I say, Yarhamukallah. I get like 5 people look at it, and I was wondering, why are they looking? All I said was, Yarhamukallah. And now what you're saying, it all makes sense now.
Nah, because like back in those days, Akhi, you didn't, like, seriously, you didn't know when. One time I went to the masjid, Akhi, because that masjid right down the street from where we live. Because we didn't get to get out a lot. But every once in a while I say, okay, just happened that there was a janazah in the masjid. And the janazah for who?
Houthi.
A dead Houthi. Man, I walked up in the masjid. This is while the war is going on. You can hear the shooting and all this stuff, And then I walk in the masjid, and it's just like all these dudes with guns. And you can't leave. You can't leave. You can't just walk in and leave, because they're going to come after you. You have to go in and just pray. Because if you leave, they're like, oh, they start like, nah, what's up? What's he doing? What are they? They might come out and shoot you. So I had to go in there and pray. And then they prayed the janazah, and I left. I didn't pray with them. The janazah. But as I'm leaving, I was talking to a British brother, and they're all coming out like this, like just like, the most hateful look with all their AK-47s, just like looking like, oh, just wait, we're gonna kill y'all. It's like,
They knew you were Sunni.
But they don't know if we're somebody that might be allied with them. They don't know. So they can't do anything to you. Right. They're not just gonna, they don't know we're like from Damascus. They don't know that.
Even if they did, nothing would happen to them, right?
No, if they knew that we were, they knew that we were students of Sheikh Yahya, they'd probably kill us.
Do they?
But because they're allied with like people like Muhammad Ali Imam and all that, they don't know who you are. So they, they won't. Some of them they won't bother you. But if they know that you're a student of Sheikh Yahya, oh no, you're done. You're done.
Even the checkpoints, right? In Sana'a, obviously they have to be Houthi. They were just because I had no facial hair. I just had like somewhat of a haircut, and I would wear just like a button-up shirt and jeans. They would just treat me like just another person on the street.
Most of the people that work those checkpoints are not real. They're with the Houthis, like, because they're in the military. But they're not really Houthis. They just like, I never had a problem with the checkpoints inside Sana'a. I had a problem with the checkpoints outside of Sana'a. They snatched me off the bus with, like, armed dudes just like, get off the bus. I ain't getting on the bus. Get off the bus right now.
Like I was wearing when I told you, the button-up shirt and jeans and Jordans, and there was a
He was in translator mode. Yeah.
Hey, I didn't know. I was like, my mom told me to wear this stuff. I was like, I want to wear a thobe. I want to wear. She said, no, you're gonna wear this. I was like, khalas. See that? If I was, she wouldn't let me wear a thobe in public.
You can wear a thobe, just dress like a Kabili. Yeah.
But the thing is, when
you see how the Yemenis dress here, the same thing, just dress like that.
Because there's a mat'am in Sana'a. It's like the more modern mat'am. They have pizza, burgers. The burgers actually taste good. I'm like, those are some good burgers.
There you go.
What am I looking at? Oh no! What is that? Oh wow!
Let me see.
Was it that day at the restaurant or what?
Yeah.
Oh, that's his evidence. That day at the restaurant when he told him fix it.
Oh,
Fix it.
Oh, camera good.
You don't know who this is.
I want to see. I
You
know.
never showed me the pictures though.
I already have a mental image. I haven't even seen it anymore. Of course.
We're like going on like what, 3 hours now?
No, we can keep going. This is fun.
Fun for y'all. I don't know.
What is that?
Because you guys are all like coffee. How was the coffee, by the way? Huh? Was it strong though?
That was some good coffee.
You just been like quiet the whole time, man.
I don't get it.
It's a lot.
Like, Ibrahim's just been chilling.
Yeah.
Like I gave him that espresso, he went into chill mode.
Yeah.
Huh?
I mean, just like I'm confused.
I never went there. The government wouldn't allow foreigners to go there. So I know the brother that I was talking about the other day, remember Abdullah, the brother that died in the Saudi bathroom? He went to Ib, and the government told him, you gotta leave. They went like, back in those days, Ali Abdullah Saleh was not allowed to go to Ib. No way. Like, the police literally told him, you have to go. Leave.
Oh no, in 2021, remember when I went, there was a Houthi. He made my dad was like, I'll give you whatever, I'll give you money and whatever. I see you like saying, like, I want to see every single suitcase that you have. He made my dad open every single suitcase.
In Yemen.
No, on the way to Sana'a. Like that check. There was this one checkpoint.
Your dad tried to give him money.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about it. They just take his money. Actually, they don't care about that.
But
They wanted his money. They'll just take it from him.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's like,
I'll give you your suitcase.
yeah, they don't care about none of that stuff. Even when they came up to me on the bus, they said, get off the bus. I said, I have an exit visa. They don't care about your visa. Get off the bus. That's what they told me. They said, I don't care. Get off the bus. I'm sitting there with my kids and everything. And the dude with the AK-47, get off the bus right now. They don't care about that. If they want that, they'll take it. Who's going to stop them? All these ain't nobody going to stop them. They want the money. They don't need your money. They take your money, take your clothes, take everything.
Take your bike.
They'll leave you out in the middle of the desert naked and hungry with no food and no nothing. What are you going to do? Unless you're going to like stand up and fight against 20, 30 soldiers with guns, then what are you going to do? And there's always going to be the guy with the shots, with the 50 caliber machine gun on the back of the truck. You can go be Rambo if you want it. You want to be Rambo, go
5 seconds.
Huh?
Rambo for 0.5
Yeah, I'm
seconds.
saying, you got an honorable death. Brothers have done it, alhamdulillah. One brother stood up against them, 2 brothers. They stood up against them, and they fought, mashallah, valiantly. Those are the 2 brothers from Damascus. They were going to Sada. They were on a motorcycle. They had the AKs, because at that time, the conditions of the truce between the Houthis and the brothers in Damascus was that they're allowed to carry their personal weapons. So the Houthis couldn't say anything to them. They couldn't say, like, give us your weapons. So they went up on these 2 brothers. They were on a motorcycle going to Sada, and they said, give us your weapons. They said, we ain't giving you nothing. And then the guards started to pull the guns out. The brothers pulled the guns and shot the guards dead. And then they called, like, one of the guys that saw it, because there's always going to be 2 here, but there's going to be, like, other people all over the place. And they all started shooting back and forth. And these brothers, they went to like this small little mud house that's built into the mountain. And they just fought with them, Akhi. Fought with them and fought with them. One of the brothers got killed and the other one just kept fighting until finally they had to bring in the tank and shoot the room and kill the other brother. Huh? He was on the phone with a brother in Sutton. He was giving them the play-by-play. Yeah, man, we just dropped this person. He just dropped. They're bringing in this, until like there was only one of them left, and then he got killed. But they died. Mashallah. Like heroic death, though. 2 dudes, man, took out a whole. They did some Rambo stuff, though. They did, but they died. They died, but they did it. Boy, they put a lot of holies in the graves that day.
So, how come Sheikh Yahya is not dead yet?
Allah protect him.
Like, what are some failed murder attempts that they had against him?
The whole time they were trying to kill him. If they could have ever gotten to the Sheikh, I think they would have gotten to him. Snipers are trying to shoot at him. Mortars are trying to shoot at him. Everything. They're trying to anything to kill the Sheikh. He'd be in the class teaching. They're shooting at the masjid. Yeah, so Allah protected him. That's it, Any more questions?
We're listening. This is fun.
Have you got fun?
You can't be.
When Sheikh Yemen?
Huh?
Have you heard when Sheikh Yemen?
What?
When Sheikh Yemen?
Sheikh Yemeni.
Tell them to go to Little
Sheikh
Yemen.
Yemen. The Sheikh that from Yemen is from Kenya. It's Bun Yemeni. The bun is what's actually grown in Yemen, but the Sheikh that they drink in Yemen is actually grown in Kenya. The caboose. We have caboose. Huh? Nah, man, I don't know. That's my wife does that, man. I don't know how to do that. It's his mother knows how to make that tea. You never learned it. You get cardamom, you get cloves. Tea.
Which head's there?
Of course, he lives here.
No, he's like just wide awake. He says, I was expecting to be sleeping. That's why.
Like the cat. So no questions for the cat today.
He tells more stories.
I ain't tell you, bring me more questions.
Okay.
No, from there.
Oh, come on. My phone's charging.
Hey, Abdul Malik, you doing it?
I haven't seen Acid.
Yeah, no, I said King.
That was here.
Oh yeah, no,
There's
I haven't seen Acid
questions,
since
but
he took the
he
shawarma.
He took the shawarma.
No, he ate the shawarma and went to sleep. He was here with the cat sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said I got 2 felines asleep on the cat at the couch. I got an Acid and I got a Vista.
That's a line.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
There's questions, but they're not, there's a question. Did you witness any Had in Damaj?
Not witness any what?
Had.
What is
I
it?
think it means
Had.
Hadou.
Like had punishments.
Al-Hadud.
Yeah.
No, that's for the government to do that. That's done in Sana'a.
Another question. Is it permissible?
Like what they doing, the mass, like people get caught stealing, people get caught doing funny business, like that gay stuff, they beat the mess out of them. That's it. But it's not like Hadud. It's just like, they beat the mess out of them, like don't come back here ever again. So. What's that?
Just watching. Is it permissible to donate your organs?
No. Your body does not belong to you. Oh my God, you brought in Fluffy. Let me see if she's gonna act right. you hear that sound? That's not Velcro.
Oh look who's getting activated.
Oh,
chocolate bar.
Oh, you about to watch it? Watch. Here he comes. Watch. Y'all gonna have to pay for this.
Pay-per-view.
Look at him. He's like, nah. He's like, this is my house. What are you doing up in here?
Wait, is that the cat that was disciplined?
Watch him. Look at him.
You learned this in Muay
He's
Thai.
like, man, he's like, don't look at me. Fight back. He's gonna leave. Watch. She's gonna go. She's like, I can't watch. Watch him. He's gonna go right after her. Y'all done started a problem, man.
Sniffing its crap.
He's like, that's what she's saying. Leave me alone. Get me out of here. What's the other one? That's not our cat though.
The fluffy one?
You didn't,
Fluffy.
you didn't,
The
you
outside
didn't
cat?
finish
yeah.
the answer.
We feed her. But,
You didn't finish the answer.
well, what was it? What was
About
it?
the organs.
Oh yeah. The body's not yours. It's Allah's.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It belongs to Allah. It's not. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you the body. You return it the way that He gave it to the way He gave it to you, the best of your capability. It's your job to upkeep it and treat the body with, like, you know, without oppression. The body parts aren't yours to give away in the first place. You know, so all this donating organ stuff, that's not permissible. Watch out for the phone.
How old is you?
No.
So I mean, it's an amana, and that's why we always say with the du'a, whenever a person dies, the du'a what? Inna lillahi, that we belong to Allah, wa inna ilayhi raji'un, and to Him is our return. Sounds like Velcro, don't it?
Yeah.
She doesn't want that cat, doesn't want to go down because our cat's just gonna run after her.
Yeah, I'm back on YouTube.
Yeah, because I know Malik's like reading every single comment.
صار يوم وصلنا ل 31 مشاهد.
Huh?
صار يوم وصلنا ل 31 مشاهد.
What is it?
31 مشاهد يعني اليوم.
Mir.
31
Mir واحد ثلاثين واحد ثلاثين.
34 مشاهد.
Because it's too long, man. How long is the video now?
4 hours.
4 hours?
Yeah.
I'm serious.
3 hours.
3 hours. All right, I'm gonna have to go, man. Friday night.
It's 8:17.
Oh, this is Friday night, yeah.
412 minutes.
You are crazy. What? You are asleep, and you wake up just to fight a cat. You woke up just to fight a cat.
Okay.
You saw he was out, and he's like, "Look, somebody's here." That fluffy dude.
He chose violence.
Yeah, he just
Yeah,
went-
he woke up
Oh,
and chose
shit.
He
violence.
woke up and chose violence.
yeah, with not even wiping his eyes.
Just went straight
Still,
for
look at you, still got the sleep in your eyes, man.
Straight to business.
Go back to sleep, man. Go back to sleep.
Or the Zaydis close to the Sunnah.
No, they're not close to the Sunnah. Like, this is a common phrase that they say in Yemen, that the Zaydis are the closest people to the Sunnah, closest to the Shia to the Sunnah. Yeah, hey, close like what? Like, close like we are to, like, Iowa. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Himalayas.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, okay, let's say New York City then. You know, that's about how close they are to the Sunnah. You know, so saying that they're the closer to the Shia to the Sunnah, it still means that what?
Still far.
Yeah, they're super far, you know.
Mm.
You know, like probably like another galaxy. So I mean, to say that they're close to the Sunnah, no, that's incorrect.
Because you notice how that sounds. That sounds like a little soft. You know.
Actually, they're so far from the Sunnah, even the Zaydis, actually. But because they're still Muslims, I mean, we're still praying in the masajid and everything, but nah, man, they're like full of bid'ah. Full of bid'ah. Actually, they got that stupid pool that you gotta walk through because they believe that, just walking through the place of wudu, it makes your feet najis. So they got this pool of just black water, akhi. I don't know if they changed this water. We used to jump over it, man. We'd never walk through it. Like, we'd be up on the walls trying to walk around it. And we had to pray in one of their masajid, because you have to. You go through the wudu section, when you're coming out the bathrooms, they got this pool. It's a little pool in the ground. You have to walk through it to wash the najasa off your feet. You know, they got so much bid'ah. And that water's so dirty, man. It's so dirty. Then they go and they walk through that, and then they go into the masjid. And that's why you see they got the dirtiest masajid, they got the dirtiest bathrooms, they got the dirtiest pool. Their masajid are horrible. Like, they're so uncomfortable to pray in. You know, like the masajid of Ahl Sunnah way more tranquil. You know.
The blue water is najis.
What makes them Muslim? Like, what do they still uphold that's like Muslim?
They don't do anything that takes them out of Islam.
Oh, okay.
Like the Prophet, though, they got so many different things that take them out of Islam. It's like, which one do you want to focus on? They got, like, you could probably bring just, for every single belief they have, they got points that will take them out of Islam. But the Zaydis not. The Zaydis, they go back to Imam Zayd. And Imam Zayd is where the word Rafidah came from. You know, because they came up to Imam Zayd and they tried to get him to insult Abu Bakr and Umar, and he refused to do it. He would praise Abu Bakr and Umar. And they said, you know, and they told him, they said, إِذَنْ نَرْفُضُكَ وَقَالَ إِذَنْ أَنْتُمْ رَافِضَةٌ. So he said, you know, that's where the word Rafidah came from. It was from that interaction between him and the Imam Zayd. So the Zaydis, Aslan, they're against the Rafidah. But because these dudes went to Iran and went to Lebanon and came back and started kind of like sneaking this stuff in, you know, and that's why Sheikh Muqbil rahimahullah, he made a statement. The statement is actually from one of the Salaf. But it was a statement that Sheikh Muqbil used to repeat all the time. He said, bring me a small Zaydi and I'll make him a big Rafidi. You know, and that's the reality, because they're so ignorant of the deen that a Rafidi could come in and just take them straight off.
And don't forget who's also going to help him. Shaitan's going to be there to help him too. Whisper in the ear.
Because they already got all the Ahlul Bayt stuff, you know, so. What's this?
I mean,
The Musnad, you talking about that? The difference between the Musnad of Sheikh Muqbil and the Jami' Sahih Mimma Laysa fi Sahihain.
What are we doing here in America?
The Musnad is on the tariq of a Musnad.
I'll get out.
So Sheikh Muqbil rahimahullah, he put all the hadith based on the Sahabi in alphabetical order. You know, so he started off, you know, with Alif, Ba, Ta, and went through the whole alphabet with the Sahaba, and he just brought the hadith for that Sahabi. That's the Musnad. So all the hadith that you find in the Musnad, in the Sahih Musnad, you'll find in Jami' Sahih. But the only thing is that Sheikh Muqbil with Jami' Sahih, he did the Abwab al-Fiqhiyya. So if you see, like, the Sahih Musnad is 2 volumes. You see Jami' Sahih Mimma Laysa fi Sahihain, it's like, what, 5 volumes, I think the latest print was?
I was like 4.
No, it's like, check it online. It's like 4, I think it's 5 volumes, but you check it. Look it up. Just type in Jami' Sahih Mimma Laysa fi Sahihain. But it's because he repeats the hadith. Because he did it like Abwab al-Fiqhiyya. So it's like 5th chapter. So he gives the opinion like, okay, Kitab al-Tahara, Kitab al-Salat, Kitab al... You know, he brought it like just like the regular books, but the Musnad is based on the Sahabi. So these are all the hadith from Anas ibn Malik. These are all the hadith, like, you know, like that. So there's no specific order to those hadiths. Yeah.
1, 2, yeah, 6 volumes.
6 volumes.
So
both of them.
6 volumes. Well, sold out like usual. So.
2 more questions.
You can't ask him.
Striving slave, and then right out under it.
When the war came, I think he means were the people of the I think Tibet. Instead, when the war came, were the people of Tibet the ones that were practicing Sunnah Deen in times of ease? Of course. If you're not practicing the Deen in the times of ease, you're not going to have Tibet in the times of difficulties. Because if you can't, if you can't even practice the Deen when you have the times of ease, how are you going to practice it in the times of difficulties? It doesn't work like that. So what happens is the people that were wishy-washy in the times of ease
went away.
Yeah. Why is it like why? Oh.
We'll call Sheikh Yahya to be.
Okay, so I was like, where am I at? And I'm like, I'm not in what you had the video rewind. Okay. All right, so yeah, it doesn't work like that. Times of ease, you have to be practicing the Deen in times of ease, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you the strength to practice in the times of difficulties. But don't trust me, you're not just going to become, you know, you see all these movies, right? Back in the days when we were growing up, he's a like washed up alcoholic, but then somebody kidnaps his wife, and then all of a sudden he becomes like Superman. No, that's Hollywood. Yeah. That's Hollywood. Those dudes, the wishy-washy Muslims, when in the times of difficulties come, what do they become? Super wishy-washy Muslims.
Invisible.
Yeah, they really go out the back door. What caused Sheikh Yahya to leave Ma'rib for Hadramaut? The Houthis. They attacked him. And there was an agreement between the tribe and Sheikh Yahya. Sheikh Yahya said, we're not going to participate in the fighting. The tribe said, we'll defend you. And then, alhamdulillah, qadarullah ma sha'a. So, I mean, the Sheikh had an agreement with the tribe that we're going to come here, we're only seeking knowledge, we're only studying. You know, and the tribe said, we got you. We're going to defend you. But they're just, the tribes are big. And you got good people in the tribe, and they had some very good people. They had some people that stood up and fought against the Houthis, but then they had some people that took money and took bribes and then, ended up giving up land, and here y'all go. Opened up the door for the Houthis to come in, and students got killed, so long time. Yeah.
That's how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was protected. It was a tribe from his uncle, right? His tribe protected him.
No, his tribe was the one attacking him.
Oh no, like I'm not talking about like Quraysh. I'm talking about like
not out of respect for his uncle. They would.
Oh, okay.
They would go easy on him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they didn't like. But it was his tribe. Did you find that video about the Molid?
Yeah, I found it, but I have to exit out because you wanted me to search over the general.
Oh yeah, you found it.
No, I didn't.
Oh, that was crazy.
It's on YouTube, right?
Yeah, they had it on you. That's what's funny, right? That video never got banned from YouTube. But you say one thing about the vaccine, boy, you're banned for life, dude. They literally blew up the whole stage, and that video's been on YouTube for years, I think.
Say one thing about the tiny hat people.
the tiny hat people. The dudes with the Jerry curls.
Yeah.
Oh. The tiny hat people. I thought you were talking about the gay people.
The Jerry curls. The tiny hat people. You don't know the tiny hat people?
No, I know. I just wasn't thinking about them. That's why.
Well, a new wave of them tried to cross the ocean. The people across the ocean told them they had to do their DNA, and they found out that none of these people in these special communities on the East Coast have no DNA whatsoever.
In the Middle East.
No DNA whatsoever of what it is they claiming, and now they're all shook up and horrified, and oh my God.
Everybody knew that.
Everybody knew that, except them.
Their great grandfathers,
the hierarchy of them knew, but not all the people that's pushing the line.
Ones that, they've been lied to.
Yeah, they lied. Yeah. So it's a big issue.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No more questions, man. We're gonna wrap this up.
Already?
Yeah, man. This is like I told you.
No. 9 more questions.
Nine more questions.
Yeah, remember when I want to go play basketball? You're like, one more question.
Why they bring Fluffy? Now my cat's gone.